Knicks family, what's popping? Well, we here. I know we all got a lot to say. Knicks lose to the Nets. Bad defense down the stretch. Lack of offensive structure. Only 14 assists tonight. Man, let's go. Knicks family, what's popping, man? It's definitely not the Knicks. You know, I mean, they had me excited for a little bit, but there's some things we got to do, some things we got to talk about. You know, and there's some things I want to say to Fizz too. But we just going to go ahead and get this rolling. But we got a lot to talk about tonight. And I think a lot of people are going to have a lot of things to say about what we seen tonight. I mean, it wasn't a horrible game. Dave Young says, bruh, it's game one. You know what? It is game one, but it's a game that we could have had and should have had because we play Boston tomorrow night. Right? And as much as people are going to say, well, this season is not about winning. When you're on the floor, you're a player, you're a coach, it's always about winning. F what you heard, bro. F what you heard. It's always about winning. You on the floor, it's always about winning. Right? So, you're playing two teams that you can beat. You know you can beat. Take care of Atlanta. Play Brooklyn. You got the game in your hand. You can win this game. You got it. Your defense sucks down the stretch. You know what I'm saying? And then you got to play Boston tomorrow night on a back-to-back. Yeah. It's not just one game to me, my man. Sorry. You know what I'm saying? We got to take care of business when business is given to us. You know? But we're going to recap the game a little bit. Talk about a couple of stats. Look at the box score. And then we'll get into, you know, we'll let everybody go ahead and gripe about what we seen tonight. We'll gripe about it because I wasn't pleased. And I know a lot of people wasn't pleased. And there are certain things that I wasn't pleased about. I'm sure you guys can see it. You can see the title of the pregame. You know, but the Knicks tonight. Let's say this. Kevin Knox had a much better showing. Listen, his showing wasn't horrible against the Hawks. That was his first game. Right? First game at Madison Square Garden. There was going to be a lot. There was going to be some nerves. Bound to be some nerves. That's okay. He's a rookie. He's a kid. You can give him that. Tonight, he shot 50% from the field. Right? 50% from the field. 7 for 14 from the floor. You know what I mean? So we got to give it up to Kevin Knox tonight. I'm going to run down the rest of this box score for you. And we're going to start breaking this game down a little bit. We're going to break it down a little bit. All right, so let's check it out. Oh, wait a minute. Wrong one. That's old news right there. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to take that off the screen real quick. Get that set up for you. See, this is what happens when you can't watch the whole game because you got work to do. And then you come back, you catch it at halftime, and the Knicks come back and then blow it down the stretch. That's what happens. It rattles you and you mess up. But we back in business, so let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to Mighty Knicks. Said Frank should have been on Levert, not Tim Hardaway. We'll talk about that. Because I think some guys in the video chat got some things to say about that. All right. Shout out to the chat. We're going to win tomorrow. I hope so. It'd be a beautiful thing to beat Boston. You know, but that's definitely a much tougher matchup than the Brooklyn Nets. So let's run down this box score real quick. Frank Ntilikina, 30 minutes. 9 points. 44.4% from the field. Scored all of his points in the third quarter. You seen him catch fire in that third quarter. And, it looked like he came out. Someone said something to him at halftime, and he came out with a different mindset to the game. And he looked natural doing it. Give the kid some time, man. He's a good one. He's a good one. Shot 25% from three, 1 for 4 from the 3-point line. He's got to increase his 3-point shooting. Frank's got to increase that 3-point shooting. We need him to be around between 35 and 40%. A 35 and 40% shooter in between there. It's early in the season. Let's see what he does. 4 assists, 1 rebound, 3 steals. That's Frank for you. Lance Thomas, 0 for 4, 0 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. And Enes Kanter had a monster night. 29 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. And the only drawback for Kanter is that he's not a shot blocker. A couple of times guys came into the paint and they can jump over Kanter. You know what I mean? He's not a shot blocker, and that hurts. Now, our guards got to stop guys from penetrating so that we can help protect Kanter a little bit. But when it happens, and it's going to happen, Kanter, you've got to be able to block some shots, bro. Look, I can't get mad at him because it's just not. I don't think it's in his physical capabilities, so it's hard to get mad at him. But that's the importance of having Mitch Robinson back there. So he can erase those mistakes. Tim Hardaway Jr., 36 minutes, and there goes your theory already. Or Fisdale's theory about guys not going to be playing more than 28 minutes a game. It's already blown out the water. Enes Kanter, 35 minutes. Tim Hardaway Jr., 36 minutes. Frank Ntilikina, 30 minutes. I think Frank played 33 minutes last in Brooklyn. So that's already blown out the water. And I think we probably knew that was going to be the case. Tim Hardaway had 29 points, 10 for 25 from the field on 40% shooting. 29 points is great. Tim got to shoot better than 40% from the field, in my opinion. I'm sorry, guys. And I know people are going to say I'm back on my soapbox about Timmy. After taking pictures with him and whatnot. Yep, it is what it is. I'm back on my soapbox, and I told Timmy to watch the show. So, Timmy, well, I know you can't watch it now because you got restrictions on you. But if you see this, you got to shoot better than 40% from the field. We need you to shoot better than that. You shot 37.5% from 3, though. We'll take that all day. 85.7% from the free throw line, 2 rebounds, no assists, 2 turnovers, 3 steals. Played a good game, though. He's averaging 30 points a game on the season. We'll see. We'll see how long that lasts. Then Kevin Knox. Let's go down to Kevin Knox. Kevin Knox has 17 points, 50% from the field, 6 rebounds, 0 assists. That's okay. It's a way to rebound for the Rook. He was 3 for 4 from 3-point range, and you notice he was in the game down the stretch. Him and Lance Thomas, Lance Thomas and Enes Kanter, played the whole defensive substitution thing. But Kevin Knox was in the game down the stretch, and I expect to see more of Kevin Knox down the stretch of games because of the things that he can do on the floor. Right? 17 points, 6 rebounds. I like that he got 6 rebounds. I think he can get more. I think he should average 6 to 7 rebounds a game. I'm hoping that he can do 8. We've seen him rebound well. And I think Kevin Knox can be a good rebounder in this league. Not saying he's going to be one of the top rebounders, but he can be a good rebounder in this league. As for everyone else, Alonzo Trier, 15 minutes, 8 points, 2 for 8 from the field. Ron Baker, 18 minutes, 1 point, 1 assist. Trier also had 3 rebounds. Mario Hezonja didn't do much. Noah Vonleh had 6 rebounds. Still, though, we got smacked on the boards. We had a total of 36 rebounds. Brooklyn had a total of 55. I talked about it in my pregame show. I said we should win the battle of the boards. We need more guys rebounding than just Cantor and Noah Vonleh. We didn't get too much of it tonight. Right? Cantor had his 10 boards. Nobody else was even close to double digits. Kevin Knox and Noah Vonleh were the closest. Trey Burke also had 5 rebounds. But we need more. We got to have guys. We need rebounds. You know, Cantor is. You can't just only rely on Cantor to rebound. We can't just rely on Cantor. We gotta have guys hitting the glass. Really, we do. Guys gotta hit the glass. And now, part of the reason, and this is gonna happen, right? We shot the Knicks. We shot 40.2% from the field. Naturally, teams are going to get. Teams are going to gobble up defensive rebounds. No matter how many offensive rebounds Cantor can get, and Cantor had 3 offensive rebounds tonight. As a team, we had 24. As a team, we had 12 offensive rebounds tonight. But if you're missing shots, you're going to give the other team a chance to rebound, which is part of the reason why Brooklyn had 55. And we had 36 rebounds. Why? Because Brooklyn shot 49.3% from the field. So that means there's less rebounds to go around. That's the importance. And a lot of people get on me about efficiency. And some people, I've had some people tell me it's not as important. Here's the reason why it is important. It is really important to be efficient. Brooklyn was efficient from the field, 49%. And because Brooklyn was efficient from the field, there just wasn't that many rebounds to go around for the Knicks. Right? And so we didn't grab that if we're not grabbing rebounds, we're not starting the break. We're not getting out on the break, so it slows down our transition offense. And this happens when a team is efficient. You get less rebounds. You can't get out in transition. It allows their defense to get back on defense and get set. When you shoot 40% from the field, it allows the other team to rebound because you're not going to gobble up all the, Cantor's not going to gobble up all the offensive rebounds. And it allows them to get out and run. That's the importance of being efficient. Efficient. That is the important, because it plays, not only does it help you on offense, but it helps you on defense. And the proof is in the pudding tonight, man. It's in the pudding tonight. Right? We got beat by 20 on the boards, 19 on the boards. And a big reason for that is because we're not an efficient shooting team. We shot 46% against the Hawks. We shot 40% tonight. But there's reasons why we're not efficient, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to get into it a little bit. And I know the video chat, I know you guys got some ideas about why we're not efficient. I got some ideas about why we're not efficient. We're going to talk about it. But this is the story of the game tonight. Brooklyn, 12 for 30 from 3. It's not that many threes. Right? They shot 33s, but they hit at a 40% clip. I didn't get a chance to see exactly how many points they had in the paint, but I did see them score down the lane on occasion, even in the clutch, even down the stretch. One play, one play just killed me. When Hardaway let, what's his name, backdoor cut down the stretch. Boom. I mean, come on, man. You got to defend that. You got to defend that. You're a professional NBA player. You know how to guard against the backdoor cut. You should know how to guard. Your father is Tim Hardaway Sr. I know he taught you how to do it. I hope. But we got to guard against it. And then, of course, you see what happened with that last shot. And so it hurts you. It kills you if your guards are not going to defend on the perimeter, and then you don't have a guy in the paint that's going to block shots. It's going to kill you. Now, I blame it on the guards right now about guys getting in the paint and scoring on us down the paint. Why? Because it's not in Kanter's physical abilities to be a shot blocker. He's not a shot blocker. We know that. The guards know that. The guards can defend better. They can stop guys from penetrating down the lane. You can be smarter. You can take better positions on the floor. You can call for help if you need help. But stay in front of your man. Right? Or ask for some rotational assistance. Something. But don't let your man get into the paint. Because you know Kanter is not a shot blocker. He's a bruiser. He's a rebounder. He's not a shot blocker. Right? Let's play to our strengths. And our strength in that situation is to keep the guy out the paint. Not to take chances. Because we can't afford to let guys penetrate on us. Because when they penetrate on us the way they did tonight, then they can shoot 40% from three. And I heard someone say somewhere, that, well, we did a good job holding them to just 33s. I think the reason we held them to just 33s, shooting just 33s, is because we were letting them penetrate and score in the paint. And if you're going to let them penetrate and score in the paint, then they're probably not going to shoot that many threes because they're scoring in the paint or getting fouled and going to the foul line because they penetrated into the paint. We got to do better. We've got to do better. Let me get to this. Let me get to the video chat. And I know I got some people trying to get into the chat. So I'm going to get some of these guys into the chat. And, excuse me if I'm a little fired up. But I do not like to lose. Sorry, losing's not in my DNA. I can't stand to lose. I don't care if you guys think we're supposed to be losing or not. Some of you guys, I'm pretty sure, are celebrating because we lost tonight. But it's not me. You know what I'm saying? I cannot stand to lose. All right? I can't stand to lose. So let's get to the video chat. I want to know what the video chat thinks. In about 10, 15 minutes, I'm going to open up the lines so that you can call in 516-405-2246. And we are going to talk about the Knicks right now. Let's talk. Let's talk. Look, guys are waving their hands, waving their fingers. They got something to say. They want to get it off their chest before they don't want to go to bed with their blood pressure up, so they got to get it out. I feel you. I feel you. Let me see. Let me see. Isaiah, what's up, man? Just give us a quick recap. Just a quick
you want me to give you a quick?
What you think? Yeah. Keep it quick because we got people to get around to. People to get around to. So we're gonna get to everything.
All right.
So just give us a quick recap of what you saw.
Bert can't guard a gold. Frank can't be the only one to play defense. Tim Hardaway is being paid $18 million to not close somebody's right side when they're right. I don't know. This was just ridiculous. There's 14 assists, no rebounding, no shot blocking. Yep, that sounds about right. That's it.
Yeah, and this is against a team that, they are. Oh,
one more thing. 22 turnovers versus 3 turnovers is the most unexcusable thing I've ever seen in a basketball game. We should have won by 30 points. That's just ridiculous. That only happens in the Knicks.
There's a reason for those 3 turnovers. Viv hit it on a point earlier. There's a reason for those 3 turnovers. We're gonna get to it, but there is a reason.
And Fizz,
we can celebrate.
I'm sorry, Fizz got to start off early. If we get under 20 assists another game, he needs to light up the whole team. Or somebody needs to get in trouble.
I think it's more than just lighting them up. But let me get it around.
It is.
Real Shark Fin, what's popping, bro?
What's popping, Sim? Shout out to the chat. Sharks in the water.
No doubt.
Hey, listen, man. Trey Burke is not a point guard. He was getting cooked. Yo, Russell was cooking them. And not only that, Kanter can't be the only one rebounding. Cantor can't be shooting threes and can't be shooting jumpers either. And not only that, but I got one positive. Well, I got more than one positive, but I'm just going to say that we got that pushback as a team, man.
We do.
But those 1-point losses, Sim, that I mentioned that so much, man. And here's another one, man. Here's another one, Sim.
Mm-hmm.
It's bad, man. That's all I got, because I could go on, believe me. Hey, Sim, I took notes, Sim.
Okay.
I was holding you down because I know you was away from your desk.
No doubt.
But I'm telling you, man, I got you, though.
Yeah, all right. All right, let me get around. Let me get around. Nate?
What's up, Sim? How you doing?
Chilling, man.
Yeah, it was a hard loss, but, we're going to see a lot of these this season, unfortunately, without KP. I'll say this: Knox has got to start, because the thing is, you see what kind of offensive ability he has to stretch to the 3-point line, and then on top of that, he can board, and we need help on the boards. Burke needs to go to the bench. I mean, Burke is perfect coming off the bench. I don't want to see him starting because he cannot guard his man. And so I think that the Knicks guards have got to get better at defense, because if you watch in the beginning, LeVert was getting anything he wanted. And then, of course, it just happened to finish off at the last shot.
Yeah.
He got a layup. And so, I mean, I think Burke's got to go to the bench. Ntilikina, when the team, he's running the show, you see flashes of him doing good.
Yeah, I mean but look,
even that pass he dropped to Cantor was beautiful.
Yeah,
that's the ability he has.
And Nate, it wasn't Burke guarding LeVert. It was Tim Hardaway.
I'm just saying Burke had trouble guarding D'Angelo. I mean, but Hardaway should never been on LeVert. I mean, I think Ntilikina was on there earlier, but
D'Angelo Russell
guards struggled.
D'Angelo Russell had 15 points. He shot 41.7% from the field. He had 6 assists. He also had 4 turnovers. I mean, it wasn't as bad as it could have been. D'Angelo Russell was not a guy that posts up, so it wasn't as bad as it could have been.
I just think it's hard, because when you have a guy like Cantor, Hardaway, and Burke, all these guys are not good defenders. You need more of a defensive lineup out there, and I think I don't know who it is, but Fizdale's got to tweak this starting lineup.
I mean, let's see. Let's see. I don't know, but I mean, if you look at it, Joe Harris 66.7% from the field. Jared Dudley 60% from the field. Jared Allen 75% from the field. Karis LeVert 61.5% from the field. D'Angelo Russell was 41.7%. That was Trey Burke's main assignment.
Yeah, we also gave up a lot of threes too. I'm worried about that, because we played good defense for almost 22 seconds, and then we gave up the open 3 at the end. Yeah.
All right, let's get to Prince. See what Prince is talking about. Prince, what's popping,
What's going on, Sil?
Chilling. So just give us a little 30 seconds. Little 30 seconds on a quick review of the game, man.
I'm not gonna be the Debbie Downer, man. I'm actually I seen a team that we didn't see last year. I seen a team fight. I seen a team come together, and definitely make a push. Definitely is room to grow as a team. And there's like Finn said, after the press game interview, they asked him, they was like, what do you say about the game? He like, man, honestly, I don't like to even, comment about how we did in the game, because I'd rather watch the film than get an honest perception of how we did, and then give a pertinent analysis of how the team did. With me personally, like I said, I think we've seen a lot of growth. I think in the team, I think we showed, we see the holes. We need help at center. We need rebounding. We definitely need somebody who can command that point guard position. And we need somebody who can help with that third scoring, or we need a collective effort of scoring, much like we've seen at Madison Square Garden a couple days ago.
Okay, so are you saying you see the growth because we were able to come back? Is that where you see the growth?
What did you see?
Because
we was able to come back, but I just seen a different team. We didn't look like, you know what I'm saying, the old Knicks. That's what I said. My perception of it.
Okay.
We didn't look like last year's team.
Because
definitely we look like a different team.
Yeah, because my response to that, playing devil's advocate a little bit. Okay. Last year at the beginning of the season, we got down. We were coming back from 20-point deficits, right? We were coming back from 20-point deficits. We showed the same kind of thing at the beginning of the season last year. Then at the end of the season, we didn't have the heart, right? We have to see if we get in that same position this year. That's how you know if this team really changed and the culture has really changed when we get into that. If we get into that situation where the season, we're not making the playoffs. Do we still have the heart to fight in those games? Because it's the beginning of the season. You're gonna have heart, right? And you're gonna fight. You're gonna come back, because you don't feel like you're out of it yet. Last year, we had so many games where we were right there and then we lost it. It kind of beats you down. We're like, damn, we're hitting with like haymakers and we still can't knock this dude out. Like if you're fighting Debo, if you're on the block fighting Debo and you hit him with your hardest hit and he stands there and doesn't do anything, what are you going to do?
Yeah, you eat it. Yeah, you eat it, and you just be like, oh, like it's funny. I hear you. That's how Beasley. I remember Beasley said that last year when we were losing, and he was like, "Man, we out here trying to win. Like y'all act like we not trying to win." So I mean, I hear your frustration still. It's just me. I'm like, okay, it's game 2. I don't want to start being Debbie Downer because, like you said, what happens game 65 when, like you said, we 20 and 45? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And what happens then? What's the morale? And so let's not start beating them up now because we got a long season to go. And tomorrow we got Boston, so we'll be right back here talking about some of the same stuff tomorrow. So let's try to be positive a little bit.
And I'm positive because I want to win. And I feel like I want to win. And I feel like this is a team that we're supposed to beat. Knowing that you got Boston the next day, you're supposed to, you got to win it. Because you got Boston. And it's a good chance you're going to lose to Boston. Right? So you start the season 2-1 instead of 1-2. You know what I mean? And knowing what your schedule is like, those first 20 games, you want to get everything that you can get. And
but just the Knick way, you already know, Sim, the Knick way is just the way that we do it. We're going to come out tomorrow and we'll get that win. We'll beat Boston, right? We'll lose in the Nets, but then we'll come out tomorrow and some way beat Boston.
Right. That is the Knick way of doing things. Let's get the Who's Mark.
That's the Knick way. Watch. You know what I'm saying? Watch.
Yeah. Let's get the Who's Mark. Mark, what's popping, man? Mark, thank you for coming.
Hold on, Sim.
Okay, go ahead.
Before you about to thank me for coming and everything.
30 to 45 seconds, man, so we can get around to everyone. Then we really gonna get into some stuff. Go ahead.
This is gonna take me a minute. I was at the game sitting front row seat tonight. Listen, Trey Burke cannot start for us. He cannot play point guard for us because D'Angelo Russell killed him in the last 5 minutes of the quarter. Tim, I can't really get my mind correct. All right, the defense, let me tell you something. The wings, why wasn't they guarding? Why was they flying through the paint? Why? Someone tell me.
Go ahead, man. Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead, keep going.
My bad.
Keep going.
Why was they flying through the paint tonight? Cantor, everybody, we have to rebound. And Knox has to crash, Simeon. He does not crash on the boards to help Cantor, man. We should have won that game by 20. We turned them over 22 times. We got out-rebounded by 20 rebounds. 20 rebounds. 20. And these are the games when I'm watching and I'm rooting, and it's just we lose on some pathetic shit.
I feel you, man. I feel you. And look, people in the chat are asking why are we so upset right?
Oh my God!
And, hold on for a second, Mark. People in the chat are asking, why are we so upset? It's just the second game of the season. We act like the other team's not trying to win. Of course, we know the other team is trying to win. We're upset because we want to win. We root for the Knicks. We want the Knicks to be a good team. And when you see things happening that say they're not a good team, it frustrates you. It frustrates me because unlike some of you all, I don't want to tank the season. I don't want to lose the season. I don't want to say this is a losing season anyway. Right? I want to see the team do well. I can handle a loss. Right? If the rebound, if we shot 48% from the field, we had 53 rebounds, we shot 40% from three, right? We had a good number of assists, we played decent defense, and we lost by 2 points. I'm okay with it, right? Because we played a decent game. We lose like this by 2, and we played a terrible game. That means that you could have beat this, like Mark said, you could have beat this team by 20. We played a terrible game and lost by 2.
You know what was the best thing about tonight? Knicks only had 3 turnovers. When did you know the Knicks were having 3 turnovers?
Oh, I think there's a reason for that, though, Mark. I think there's a reason. We only had 3 turnovers, and it has to do with to me. It correlates with the number of assists we have. 14 assists. 3 turnovers, 14 assists. To me, that says guys is going one-on-one. You're pounding the ball in the post. That's why you got a lower number of turnovers, right? Because the more you pass the ball, the more you pass the ball, the more there's going to be, there's a higher chance of you turning the ball over. If you're just coming down, boop, 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 and go, or just pounding it into the post, which I don't have a problem with giving it into the post, but when you give it to the post, it stagnates the offense because a lot of times that ball's not coming back out; it's going up to the cup, right?
Well, when Fizz was calling Canton number and he had him in the post, that's when they were scoring. Let me tell you something. I know everybody come down on Tim Hardaway, but let me say something. Because he's the only person that takes the ball and drives it and runs in transition. Everyone else seems like they can't run a break to save their life. And the thing is too, I see why Fizdale is not running his plays because he has plays. He's running his plays because he want to see what people's sweet spot is. He want to see what people's going to take their shot. Because trust me, Lance Thomas, I don't want him to play because again, he falls right back into the Lance Thomas role. Just does nothing right.
All right. Mark, go on. Let me get to Viv. Let me get to Viv. Let me get the Viv. Right. You can level us out a little bit. Level us out a little bit, Viv. Yeah. Level us out, man.
Look. You kind of got it to my main point, Sim.
Yeah.
Look, you 3 turnovers. There's nothing to, you don't celebrate 3 turnovers if you don't pass the ball. How do you celebrate 3 turnovers when you only had 4 assists in the first half? Like, come on, that's like pathetic. We had 14 assists. I don't even know how we had 14 assists, but man, this offensive performance we had, I mean, the defense, I think everyone else mentioned the defensive issues. I'll get to it in a bit. But, man, how do you survive with an offense that's this ugly, where no one passes the ball, where when you bring the ball up, the first thing the player does is shoot the ball? Like, I know Mark says, okay, Timmy, bring the ball up, during the break. That's nice and whatever, especially when you're playing defense. But if you're coming on the break and this first thing you do is just take like a bad shot, especially a long 2, I mean, like that just makes things like exponentially worse. And then you have Trey doing the same thing. Then you have like Trier trying to do the same thing. And then you got like 3 players that pretty much are just taking bad shots early on in the shot clock.
Mm-hmm.
And no one is a good enough shooter at this stage of their career, and maybe they'll never be a good enough shooter to be able to shoot the ball that well. Trey Burke was 3 for 11 today. I mean, he had 2 threes, it's fine, but he was 3 for 11 today. He doesn't have business of taking those ISO shots. Tim Hardaway, he was 10 for 25. It's 40%.
Yeah.
40% shooter is like the lowest of the echelon of shooters. And, Trier was 2 for 8. Like, none of those 3 have the business to take, shots early on in the clock. And you know how bad the 14 assists are? the 14 assists are so bad that there was only 2 assists on the bench unit. The bench unit that is actually playing the most minutes together. They didn't stagger the bench that much, so there was only 2 assists off the bench. Baker had 1, Mario had 1.
Yeah.
Outside of Knox, no production off the bench. And we need a point guard on the bench badly, because if someone doesn't pass the ball, man, this is going to be a really ugly next few games, because the Atlanta Hawks are the worst team in the NBA. The Grizzlies just scored 100. They scored 131 tonight, and they had, I think, 32 assists. So we face the Nets, and the Nets are not even that great of a team.
Yeah.
So imagine the next 4 games when we're going to play teams that they don't even have to try their hardest on defense. They can just try at 50% defense, and they'll basically stifle this team.
Right.
So Fizz has to, he said, we're just going to freelance a bit. He can't do the freelancing anymore. He's got to have some set plays run, because, when they're in freelance mode, nothing good happens.
Yeah,
nothing good happens.
And we're gonna get to that too. We're gonna get to that, Viv.
Yeah, everyone needs to take better shots. Someone needs to crash the boards at all times. Everyone has to actually just crash the boards, and we need to pass the ball.
Yeah. All right. Let me get to a phone call, and then I'm gonna get back to you guys. I want to know what you guys' player ratings are tonight for the players. What? Yeah. I just want to rate their performance real quick. I'll run through a couple of players. I want you to rate their performance, and what do you want to see them do against Boston, or going further, moving on into the season. I think we got out. Maybe we got our frustrations out. Viv came in and mellowed us out, and now we can maybe talk with a little bit more ration. I know I can. Caller, you on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Yo, what's good?
What's good, man? What's up with you?
Oh, ain't not, man. Yo, I just want to say, man. Yo, I think Fizz did a good job on a rotation or whatever, but you know what I mean? We should have been a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? He should have. I think he should have thrown in Vaughn late a little bit earlier. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. And
same time.
Go ahead.
Same time, bro. I think Timmy just took some good shots, but at the same time, Tim was Tim. He took some ill-advised shots, if that's what you want to call it. You know what I'm saying?
And we're always gonna get that from Timmy. No matter what, you're gonna get some ill-advised shots. I thought, besides the shooting percentage, I thought Timmy played okay. Besides the shooting percentage, and that's who Timmy is. But he's got to get that shooting percentage up. If you're gonna score 29 points on 25 shots, that's
he did his thing. I ain't even gonna trip on that. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, no, I feel like, you know what I'm saying? I saw a couple of plays that I was just zoning in, you know what I mean? Where I'm like, oh, okay, him gonna shoot it or he gonna pass it, you know what I mean? And
right.
He shot it, and I'm just, oh damn, yo, he had a guy open on the wing, come on, Tim.
Yeah, that's what that's what Timmy is gonna do. He's gonna shoot it. My biggest problem with Timmy tonight is not making those plays. Hey, I'm gonna let you go. Thank you for the call, because I know some people want to get in and get their frustrations off. So thank you for the call, my man.
For sure.
All right, peace. My biggest argument and problem with Timmy tonight is on the defensive side of the floor. Although he did shoot 40% from the field, and it's not just Timmy, it's everyone. But he shot 40% from the field. Better shot selection, just being more efficient, making the shots. Being a maker, not just a taker. But we got to get stops. If you're not gonna make the shot, get a stop. Right? If you turn the ball over, go get a stop. Get the ball back. But if you're not gonna make shots, you got to get stops on the other end of the floor. You can't let your man score if you're not gonna score. Caller, you on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Semi-auto, what's better? It's your boy Prophet Mentality, man.
What's up with you, bro? Man? I'm chilling, man. How are you?
I'm chilling, bro. My fault for not being on live chat joint. I've been real tired up lately. Yo, my main frustration right now is going to Fizz. I mean, I don't know what anybody else is watching, but to me, when the players are doing wrong, you're supposed to stop them as their leader, as their coach. I feel like he's like doing a lot of watching. Like, you got to start telling these dudes to move the ball. Stop allowing them to play dumb. I call it playing dumb because it's frustrating to watch. Like, you got to move that ball, man, like on the offensive end. And as far as defense, like you were saying, Tim Hardaway Jr. was getting cooked, man. That was the problem in the game to me. Those two major key factors. You know what I'm saying? People are coming down on Burke. I really don't. I'm not really going to come down on Burke like that. More on Tim Hardaway Jr., man. Like, seriously. And then, you know, the young boy is injured a little bit. We didn't have no interior defense. People were just getting blown by. I mean, it was just a horrible game to me, man. People was talking about, you know, what's on the paper. Like, oh, only 3 turnovers. Man, forget all that, man. Because that was only caused by lack of ball movement, like my man said in the video chat. And it's just frustrated, son, man. I'm like... I feel like Fizz should have just, you know, put his foot in their behind. Like, hey, call a timeout. Yo, y'all got to move this ball. I feel like he just be watching them. Like, what's going on with him?
Yeah. And, we're going to get to that. Yeah, we're gonna get to that and talk about that because I believe that we need a lot more structure on the offensive side of the ball. You know what I mean? But, you know, we're going to talk about it a little bit because I think that plays into a lot. With what's going on, because that helps you defensively. If you're efficient on the offensive side of the ball, it's going to help you on the defensive side of the ball as well. You know what I mean?
Right. And when you easy to guard, Sim, you letting the defense keep their legs for the offense. Like, if you move that ball, make them work. You gonna tire them out a little bit at least. Like, come on, man. What's going on?
Yep.
I ain't gonna lie. That's why I was kind of voting for Budenholzer, not to throw him in there, but that I kind of wanted him because I like the way the ball moved with the motion offense. Right. But I know it's just the beginning, and I'm not counting Fizz out. I'm just saying I'm very disappointed so far, and I was noticing it in training camp or whatever in preseason too. When I was like, yo, why he's not stopping them and making them move the ball? He's just looking. I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah, we talked about it. Yeah, we talked about it in the chat as well. But hey, Prophet, man, I thank you for the call. Hopefully you're able to get back into the chat soon enough. You know what I'm saying? You
already know, man. Shout out to the chat. You already know. If you ain't talking about Prophet, you ain't talking about nothing.
I feel you, no doubt. All right, peace, man. All right, let me get to a couple of super chats in here. I want to give a shout out to Shamik Scheider. He said both New York teams are on the rise. Very good stuff from both teams. When Burke is struggling, I would like to see Frank take over the ball handling duties. I would like to see Frank take over some of the ball handling duties as well. I would like to see Frank's got to take it upon himself a little bit, and the team's got to give it. The team has got to give it to him a little bit. But Frank's got to take it upon himself sometimes to say, hey, give me the ball, let me run this, you go off to the wing. Maybe he doesn't have that confidence yet. Maybe he's not at that level in the pecking order yet. But that's something that we need to see from Frank. Mighty Knicks is talking about trades. I don't want to talk about trades, but he said, let's trade Mario for Kurix, KP's cousin. I'm not talking about trades. We're going to rock with who we got right now. And I'm going to tell you a reason why I get so frustrated, man. Because, with the players that we have, we show a lot of potential and things that we can do. And I know I've got, we've got to be more patient with them. But when I see the potential, it frustrates me if we're not living up to it. And it's still early, so we got time to live up to it. You got wins you got wins, and then you got learning moments, right? This has to be a learning moment for the team, and hopefully Fizdale uses it as a learning moment and don't sugarcoat nothing with these dudes. Taryn Mosley, thank you for the super chat. Mighty Knicks, another super chat said Levert is better than Tim Hardaway. And Monty Knicks again said Tim Hardaway Jr. gets 30 and gives 30. And then Justin Smith says Knicks lacked in floor spread plays or plays to spread the floor. Needed more driving kickouts. I believe Dotson could have excelled in that spot, but no minutes or love from Fizz. And, well, hey, you know, we know that we know Fizz is still trying to work some things out. I will give him that. But since my man, we're going to get back to the player ratings. I want to move on and go to offensive structure. So, chat, if you're listening, I'm actually going to move into offensive structure since we've been talking about it. And we'll come back to player ratings because I want to talk about it a little bit. Okay, Monty, thank you for the super chat again. He said, I agree, I'm just trolling Mario. Okay, I got you. I want to talk about this offensive structure because if you were watching the game during the telecast, they said that the reason why you see a more freewheeling type of offense is because Fizz wants to teach the guys some accountability, teach them to be accountable for what they're doing on the floor, right? Using the screen and roll, making the right pass, making the right play without there being a structure first. And then once they learn that, then he can put more structure in. But see, I think opposite of Fizz in this area. I believe you put the structure in first. I believe you always put the structure in first. And then you let them loose a little bit and you let them play a little more free. I believe that's the way you do it. Right? If you want to see where players, where their sweet spots are on the floor and those type of things, maybe you give them a game or two to just go freewheel. But I think you start always with structure. That's just my opinion. I believe you start with structure. You have them, you give them certain actions and plays that they need to know. And when you call it, they do it. No, nothing, nothing else about it. You call it, they do it. Right? You put the structure in first. It's like if you're teaching in a classroom or if you got a group of kids, you don't start off just finding out what the kids want first. You set the rules first. Here's the rules. No disrespect, no cursing, no this, no hitting, no this, and this. And as the group gets acclimated to the structure and they're working within that structure, now you can loosen up and let them do some creative things here and there and maybe make up a few things that they want to do with the group and stuff like that. But you start with the structure, right? And then once you have the structure, you let them go a little bit. Because why? Because once that structure becomes second nature to them, they will naturally come back to that structure when it gets out of control, because that's what they know. That's how they feel safe. It's like you have a home, right? When you have a home, your house, you naturally come back home. If you feel unsafe, you go home because you know it's safe. It's the same thing with having structure in your offense. You have that structure established, and when everybody knows it so well that it's ingrained in their system, you can let them go a little bit because they're naturally going to come back to it. Without you even saying anything, they will come back to it. Fizz it scares me a little bit because my question then becomes, if you started off without the structure, how hard is it going to be to now put the structure in? Now, I don't know what's going on inside the locker room, right? So, I can be completely off base. Maybe they all are on the same page with this plan. I don't know. As far as like the players and everyone understands what's going on, it could very well be. Maybe, and I hope so. But I just believe you start with the structure first, and then, go out from there. Because now, if you do not have a structure first, It's hard to reel everyone in. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to bring them back in. If you have a puppy that you never trained, now that puppy is 1 year old and you decide now I'm going to train the puppy, it's going to be very hard to train that puppy now because that puppy built habits. And it's the same thing with the team. They're building habits as they're out there on the floor. With the team, they're building habits with one another. They're building habits. So if they know, this person's going to go one-on-one, I'm going to just stand in the corner and watch. They're building that habit. And I believe you need this. You need, I'm sorry for stuttering. You need that structure first. The structure builds the habit, helps you build the right habit so that you can come back to it naturally without thinking. So I don't know. I don't know. If he hasn't put in that much structure, what's it going to be like when he decides to put in a structure? How hard is it going to be to break some of the habits that they're developing right now? How hard is it going to be to do it? And I understand. I understand everything. I understand what he's saying and what he wants to do. He wants the team to be able to play basketball, not look like robots on the floor. He wants the team to be able to play basketball. Go out there and play. Because listen, if your team can play without an offensive structure, but you can play the game the right way, you're almost unguardable. Truly, you are. Teams like Golden State and San Antonio, when San Antonio had Timmy and those guys for so long, they can come down and there's no play calls. Every once in a while, or, when it's really needed, maybe they do. But when you have a team that just knows how to play the game, you can't guard them. Right? You can't guard them because there's no play to cue in on. You can't cue in on that play and say, this is exactly what they're going to do. No. You can't, because you don't know what they're going to do. Right? Because they're just playing basketball, but they know how to play the game. So I understand what Fizz wants to do, but to start off, you need structure. When Mark Jackson was in Golden State, he was highly, highly structured on the defensive side of the ball as well as the offensive side of the ball. He was structured. When Steve Kerr got there, he opened it up a little bit. Right? He got a little bit more creative. Let the players get a little bit more creative. But you know why that was successful? You know why they were able to open up the way that they did on the offensive side of the ball? It's because Mark Jackson put the structure in first. He helped them build habits. And then when Steve Kerr came, maybe he had a better offensive mind than Mark Jackson. He recognized the structure that was in place and said, okay, I got something to build off of. I'm going to open it up a little bit for these guys. And we're going to do some things, and I'm going to just let them play some ball. And he could do it, though, because they had the structure in place. That's how I feel about it. That's what I hope. I don't know. Fizz says that he hasn't put in all of his plays. He hasn't put in all of his system. Obviously, I wouldn't expect all of his system to be in right now anyway. But he hasn't really put it in because he wants the guys to accept accountability, be accountable for themselves. But I think in order for the guys to learn that accountability, they've got to be accountable to the structure first. Become accountable to the structure. I want to see what the video chat thinks about this. Because I think listen, we talked about it in preseason that the guys do a lot of one-on-one. And Fizz said, I'm going to let them go. I'm going to let them do it. I thought it was a mistake then. I think it's a mistake now. Let's see what we're talking about over here in the chat. I know guys got some things on their mind. Let me see. Real Shark fan, I'm coming to you, brother. What's up, man?
Hey, Sim, man. Hey, you know, man, we really got beat, man, on the penetration, on that, man. Yo, they kept getting into the paint. This was in the first quarter, but you know, we got some pushback because we won that third quarter, man. We went on a 16-4 run, and I say that to say this: when we went on that run, Frank initiated. And he was controlling the offense. He dropped 7 points, and I think he may have had 2 or 3 assists in that run. And hustle plays, you know, we don't have a stat line for hustle plays and deflections and you know, defensive stops where players see him and they go the other way. You know, it's plenty of plays like that. But as far as the structure, man, you know, Fizz says that he hasn't put all his plays in yet because he wants to see who's going to get into an offensive flow on their own and find their own sweet spot. So when he realized that a player has a little 15-foot jumper, that's his sweet spot, then he'll start putting in plays for that person if they hit it on a consistent basis, you know. Right. But I know I seen flashes of real strong offensive play coming from Frank tonight. He had a different look on him. He had a different look about him, man.
In that third quarter.
And in that third quarter, he got everything going. He stabilized everything out, and then he got it going.
Yeah.
First, he stabilized everything out, Sim.
Yeah. Let me respond. Let me respond to someone real quick, Shark Fin. In the chat, I want to respond to. Let me get his name. Make sure I got his name right.
Right, get it right.
Make sure I got his name right. Arashi Kumo.
We want to know who it is.
Arashi Kumo. And what he said, and I want to correct him on this. He said, so Sim would handcuff Trier and force Frank into a role he's not comfortable with as a solution. Number one, Frank's being forced into a role that he may not be comfortable with right now. Frank has been a point guard his whole life. I'm not going to say he's being forced into a role he's not comfortable with. I think Frank can play any spot on the floor because he knows how to play basketball. He knows when to pass the ball, who to pass the ball to. He understands plays that are happening. You know, so I don't think Frank's... So let me back that up. I don't think Frank's being forced into a role that he's not comfortable with. But having him play point guard, I do not think that's a role that he's not comfortable with. He's probably most comfortable playing point guard. That's what he's played his whole life. And I think he is a point guard.
That's his game.
Number one. Right.
That's his game. That's his game. And I wanna address the chat as a whole as well. I just want everybody in the chat to understand that this is a Knicks group. This is a Knicks group with passionate Knicks fans. We do not like losing, especially games that we know we can win. We really don't like losing those games. So if we get a little bit passionate, I mean, I guess you have to understand how a real Knicks fan takes losses. You know, we don't like losses. This is a Knicks group. This is not a Knicks group. This is not a Sixers page. This is a Knicks group, nothing but Knicks. And that's all I got to say, man.
Yeah. And so Arashi, and then you said, would I handcuff Trier? No, I wouldn't handcuff Trier. Right? You know what Trier's strengths are. Fizdale knows what his strengths are. He knows he likes to go one-on-one. So you structure your offense, every single offense has actions for one-on-one play. Right? Every single offense. One-on-one play doesn't mean that you come down, you dribble the ball down, and then you just go one-on-one. And I'm not saying that Trier does that every time, or Tim Hardaway or Trey Burke, but we see it a lot. One going, ISO doesn't mean that it's just one pass to the wing and then everyone clear out. There's ways for 2 or 3 people to touch the ball, and the person who is going to go one-on-one come off of a couple of screens. And then you get that person the ball in the position where they are comfortable, and then you let them go.
That's true. Also, Sim, tonight I noticed a lot during the game when they ran the offense through Cantor that nobody was moving, nor nobody was coming to the ball. So they was collapsing on him, Sim, and nobody would come to the ball.
Yeah.
Nobody would come to the ball, man.
Yeah.
He can't do everything. He can't rebound. He can't be the assist leader. He can't shoot threes. He can't shoot 15-footers. He can't do all of that. And he's trying. And
Right.
he's trying to do all of that, Sim, and he's not getting no help, man.
Right.
I'm sorry, man. Not at opportune times, man.
Yeah,
Not at opportune times.
Yeah, but Arashi. So no, I wouldn't handcuff anyone. It's all about using the strengths of all of your players. You know what I'm saying? And Isaiah, I'm about to come to you. It's about using the strengths of your players. You know what I mean? It's about understanding where to put people in a position to be successful. And how you use all of your parts and all of your pieces on the court. Even if you're just using them as a smoke screen, right? You know, you get the ball to, you know, whoever we have that's good in the mid post, let's say. You get the ball to that person in the mid post. Everyone thinks he's going to go. Then you got some other action off the ball where you're actually hitting Trader off of a screen. I mean, there's so many ways that you can utilize all of your players, but still allow Trader to be himself. And yes, there will come times when you just throw him the ball and say, go get it. You know what I'm saying? But you want to use your players. That's how you keep people involved. That's how you make the other team's defense get tired. So you don't just throw it to them and let them go. At least have a couple of actions. Have some things. Have them run off of a couple of screens. Have some off-the-ball screens set so that you keep that defense moving. And then get him the ball and let him go ISO if that's what you're going to do. So, no, I wouldn't handcuff him. I just find ways for him to get the ball in better positions and with everyone else touching the ball as well. So people aren't just standing around watching all night. Isaiah, what's up, man?
What's going on, Sam? Sam. Again, yo, dang. Yo, whose thing is that?
What's going on? What's up? What's up?
Oh man, listen, man. It's just about. Yo, can somebody, can you turn that down in the back, yo?
You know, you can press mute on your phone where you muting them out.
Oh, really?
But what's going on, man? What's going on?
Man. Listen. Oh yeah, man. It's just about 14 assists, under 20 assists, not gonna cut it. It's just not going to cut it for us. And I guess I understand what Fitz trying to do to see, but I like what you talk about first. You should establish an offense first versus just letting them do what they want, because it's going to be hard. It's like telling a little kid, you could eat sugar for breakfast. You could eat candy for breakfast, and then you tell them, no, we're not going to eat candy for breakfast. We're going to eat apples. Yeah. They're going to be like, no. I'm going to get – Frank had a great game, but I'm going to get on Frank on one thing. Frank need to be more aggressive and say, give me the damn ball and let me run this offense. I need Frank to say that. Frank has to do that because it can't be Trey. Trey's not a point guard. Listen, whatever Lily or Troy, whatever y'all trolls got to say, he's not a point guard. He can't run the offense. That's not his game. That's never been his game. That's why Utah got rid of him, because they asked him to run the offense to be that kind of point guard. He couldn't do it. And that's why he wasn't on Utah. That's why he wasn't on Washington. He's just not that point guard to set other people up. I need Frank to be aggressive and say, give me that damn ball. Let me run the offense, because when we were down and we came back, Frank was being aggressive and running that offense. Frank, I'm going to repeat it one more time. Frank has to say, give me the damn ball. He has to do that. Also, too, Tim Hardaway, you got to play. You got to be better. 30 points and giving them 30 is not good enough. 18 million, you got to be at least a B, A- type of player. I'm sorry, you get almost $20 million. You have to play better. You literally, listen, me and my girl was watching the game, and she literally called it during watching the game. She was like, she literally watched like the last few seconds. She was like, why is he giving him her right side? He literally gave LeVert the right side to drive.
Mm-hmm.
This is ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I'm sorry. I don't give a crap about 30 points. I don't care about that. We lost by 2 because we played a sloppy game. 22 turnovers versus 3. That's, again, any other team, you blowing another team out by 40 points. That's just a fact. And you give up 3, that's a fact. We gotta play better. We gotta do better. I can accept a loss when we play hard and we put our chips in the middle of the floor and the team was just better. No, right. Mark, listen. I'm saying if we play hard and we did everything we had to do the right way, and we just lose, I can accept that. I can't accept this where it was sloppy play from everybody. Guards giving. Listen, I love Lance, and I love.
Hey, Tony Crow, man, you on the line?
Yeah, I'm here.
What's poppin', bro?
Black is time. Shout out to the chat. What's good,
sir?
I missed the first half, so I kind of seen the game in the bubble. So I feel like everybody's been overreacting a little bit. You know, from my perspective, not seeing the first half. The third quarter, I seen some beautiful things.
Beautiful third quarter. You know what I'm saying? We had a really nice third quarter, and you know, later on, I want to get to some. You know, I know everyone is kind of just releasing some of that negative energy, getting it out.
Yeah.
But you know, when we get to the end, of course, I want to talk about. We're gonna end off with, you know, what positives do we take from here? I think I think my frustration comes because I see so much potential. And I see everything that we have the ability to do with the squad that we have now. And I want so badly for this squad to be decent so that when KP comes back, we take it to a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's going to take time to get there. It's going to take time to get there. Right? But when you remember The last stream you had before the first game, I told you because you or the last preseason game, you was frustrated about the same thing, the lack of structure, it seemed like, or the lack of plays. Yeah. And I told you we're gonna see that for like probably the first 10 to 15 games or so. I can see it already. You remember last year, it seemed like we would have lost this game last year anyway, but we would have got blown out. We wouldn't have even been in it. I think our players, I understand what Fizz is doing, seeing who's good where, because there wasn't enough time with preseason. He still has to figure out who's good where to know what plays to run for which players. Right, I get that.
He can just sit there and run plays. But if you run a play for the wrong player per se, it's going to end up not being a good play.
I mean, but it's not about running plays, right? A play for a certain player. It's about a set, right? Because you have sets that are not really plays to get a specific shot, but a set is like when I pass the ball here, it initiates another action over here. Right, and then when the ball moves down here, it initiates an action here. And then when the ball comes back over here, it initiates an action here. And those actions are cuts to the baskets, off-ball screens, right? And then it can be continuous. Every time there's one play happens, it initiates something else to happen on another part of the floor. And it's continuous, which opens up lanes and shots for everyone that's on the floor, not just one person. Right?
The same thing like the triangle. The triangle was a bunch of sets. And see, I get it.
Right. And see, my thing is when you start off with a structure, right, you do get to see who can do what where. Because players are naturally going to go to where they're comfortable on the floor. And, you know, you have time. Listen, they were in practice a month before they even started preseason. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if you have that kind of a system on the floor first, right, you get to see who does what players gravitate, you know, because players are going to gravitate to a certain spot on the floor. And you can ask them beforehand, You know, when you're doing scrimmages, you can see where they gravitate to, and you start to put them there.
I get
And
you.
then-
I mean, I think that's why he was so high on Knox, because Knox can pretty much do multiple things from anywhere on the floor. I don't think we have a lot of players like that. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's why he was really so high on Knox, because he figured we run our sets, and Knox could pretty much do what he does. I don't know what happened in between time with those last two games and the decision, not to start him. But I don't know. I mean, I've seen a lot of positives in the game, and I wasn't too upset that we lost. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, there's a lot of positives in the game, right? I mean, but what frustrates me, we're a team that I think we're better than them. We shot 40% from the field, 14 assists for the game, right? They shot 49% from the field. They shot 40% from three. They had 20 whatever assists, and it was just a 2-point game. You know what I'm saying? We got killed on the boards by 20. These are all things that are actually in our control.
I agree with you. And another thing, like I said, I seen the game in the bubble because I didn't see the first half. But from what I've seen from third and fourth quarter, I love Frank's aggression, but he was aggressive at the three, so he wasn't running the point. I actually really like him at the three, and I loved his aggression in that third quarter. I seen great defense from Burke in the third and fourth quarter. I don't know what happened in the first half, but if Burke plays defense like that, it shouldn't even be a question.
I mean, I think Burke, I've seen some people saying some stuff about Burke. I think Burke played, I mean, he didn't have like a super duper game, but he played well. Burke played well.
It wasn't a reason to be like pointing him out, basically.
No, I mean, he shot 27% from the field, but he's not always going to shoot that. He had 8 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds. I was concerned about D'Angelo Russell being a bigger guard. It really wasn't an issue.
Okay.
It really wasn't an issue. Maybe later in the game, it became a little bit of an issue. D'Angelo Russell started getting off a little bit later in the game. He did.
Yeah. I mean, he had a couple big shots, but I would consider subbing Timmy out defensively and offensively as well. The same way he does with Cantor. Timmy's defense is a problem. Like, and he's putting up a lot of shots to get the points he's getting. If his shot selection was better, he could probably average 40 or you know what I mean, put a bunch of 40-point games out.
Yeah.
But his shot selection and his shot percentage is not very well.
Yeah.
But his defense is a problem.
Yeah, 29 points on 25 shots.
Yeah, that's not great.
That's not going to get it. That doesn't get it. But his defense was far worse than his offense. You know what I'm saying? I mean, his defense was far worse than his offense, man. You know what I mean? I mean, basically, come down the stretch, that last bucket. This is where you really got to man up, right? And he was like, you got to man up. It's you and LeVert. You got to get the stop. You got to win that matchup. Took him right to the cup, scored an easy basket.
And right before Frank got hot, I believe Knox got hot. Knox had a pretty good third quarter as well. I would like to see Knox featured a little bit more. Again, I didn't see the first half. But overall, I wasn't too upset. It's gonna be interesting tomorrow night. Yeah. And I think that's gonna give us a much better outlook of what our team is. Did Mitchell Robinson play at all? I didn't see him.
No. He didn't play. He tweaked that same ankle. As a matter of fact,
the last game, first game.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I got a chance to talk to him after the game, and his ankle was wrapped up. His ankle was wrapped up. It doesn't look like there's anything to me You know, he was walking on it. It's sore and it's not fully healed. And you know, a sprain takes a long time to heal.
Hopefully they just held him out knowing there's a game tomorrow, saying we much rather have him tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I think he's real important to what we're trying to do. Another defensive guy on the floor.
Yeah, a guy who can erase those mistakes on the perimeter, those defensive mistakes on the perimeter.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Like, Cantor was right behind Hardaway on that play, but it was nothing Cantor could do. You know, maybe Mitchell's long arms could have at least made him alter that shot.
Yeah.
You know, like looking at Cantor behind Timmy, I'm not worried. I know I just got to get it over Timmy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that defense, and you know, I switched my topic over to the defense down the stretch, because the defense down the stretch, man, we were giving up. There was a couple of contested threes that they hit, but we were giving up layups and threes, and I'm just like, come on, man, you know, you just can't expect to win that way.
I think there was a couple bad calls down the stretch too. I'm not sure. A Cantor block was called a foul. I think that was
no. He. I mean, I think that probably was a. You know, they called a flagrant foul. I think it was a flagrant foul.
That wasn't flagrant at all. He didn't even touch his head.
But
at least from the top angle.
If you look at it,
I mean, he kind of pulled his arm down.
Yeah, if you look at it, his arm came over his shoulder, and then when he pulled his hand back, you could see his fingers grab his shoulder and pull his shoulder back. I think that's what got the flagrant foul.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
I think that's what got the flagrant foul. Now, the one where D'Angelo Russell, he lost that ball because Trey Burke had a white wristband on, right? The ball went off of D'Angelo Russell out of bounds. They gave the ball, you know.
Yep.
They gave the ball back to Brooklyn. I don't recall what happened after that play, if they scored or not. I'm not sure.
Well, I know that that flagrant ended up turning into a 5-point play.
Yep. Turned into a 5-point play.
And that kind of turned the momentum.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I mean, overall, like I said, I wasn't too mad. We fought hard. We were in position. We didn't get blown. You know what I mean? I didn't really see what happened on the last play. I know prior to that timeout being called, I think Frank actually missed Hardaway right at the foul line, and ended up calling the timeout. But I don't remember that last play. You remember how that last play broke down?
I don't know. I have to go back and look at it. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I think we got up a decent shot though. So you know what I mean?
What? You mean the very last play?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that very last play. There was 1 second left. Hardaway took it from about in between the 3-point line and half court with a defender on him. But I don't know if there was much he could really do.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's something where we got to have maybe 6 or 7 plays developed for that.
Right. But
you know what I mean?
But see, that's
1-2
where
seconds left.
Right. But see, that's where I feel. And Tony, I'm gonna let you go, so I know I got some people calling in. All right.
Shout out to the chat.
All right. Can you join us in the video chat?
No, I'm not at home right now. I actually just got home back to my city, but I'm not at my crib.
All right.
But I hit you up after tomorrow's game. I'll be free, and I'll be online.
Cool. All right. Peace. And see, that's where I feel like Tony just said. Last second plays, out of bounds plays. You want to have some good plays coming in from out of bounds, last second plays, those type of things. But I feel when you have an offensive set, a few offensive sets, a structure on offense, it leads to good, crisp, cutting screens when you're taking the ball out of bounds. Right? Because you're working on it, you're practicing it, you're doing it all throughout practice, throughout the course of the game. When you have a good offense, when you have offensive sets and the structure, I mean, to me, it just gives you a center everything is now centered around that structure, and everything else that you do branches off of that structure. It gives you a sense of reason while you're on the floor. It gives you a sense of purpose while you're on the floor. You understand what you're doing, where you're going, and why you're going there. That's what the structure does for me, right? You understand all of those things, and everyone on the floor understands why that person just cut, why that person just set a screen, why that person just rolled to the basket, why that person passed it to the right wing instead of the left wing. You understand every single thing that happens on the floor when you have a structure. Everything. And it allows everyone to be cohesive. When you don't have that structure, you might have 2 or 3 players that understand what they're doing, but then the other guys don't. They're not sure what's happening. So they stand around and watch. And we see that a lot. But when there's a structure in place, everyone is on the same wavelength. Because they know the structure and they know why a pass went where, why somebody cut there, and what they're supposed to do next. And where they're supposed to be on the floor. And what does that lead to? That leads to the ability to play without a structure. Because when a group has been playing in a certain structure for so long, now they can do it without thinking. They don't have to think about it. They just do it. And your body naturally goes to where it's supposed to be. It's muscle memory. And then now you play your game outside of that structure, within that structure. I'm sorry. You play your game. You find how your game fits within that structure. That's why San Antonio has been successful for so many years. Because they had players that understood the structure. And then when you get new players, everyone else knows where to go. That player, the learning curve isn't as great for a team to fit a new player in. Because there's a structure there. We'll see what happens. And maybe, listen, we all could be totally off. And maybe he's already put in the base components of his offense, of his system. Right? Maybe he put in the base components already. And he's letting them learn the base components of it. That could very well be. That they have to learn the base components of the system. And when they get the base components, the base components, they get those, then they can, add other parts of the system. That could very well be. We're just going to have to wait and see. What's going on, man? What's popping? You're on live with Nothing But Knicks.
Yo, what's up, Sims? Rob and Nick.
I'm chilling, man. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. I watched the game. This is the conclusion I came to. They really didn't play a bad game. They got 2 problems. But I think that these problems come with the territory. If you're going to play fast, it's not going to be a lot of structure in that because it's going to slow the game down. And I feel as though the reason why he's not installing a lot of plays right there is for that simple reason, to get the tempo up. Because as I've seen, like, when he called timeout and they came back in with a play, most of the plays worked. Because Thomas blew a layup right then and there after a timeout, and he just blew it. Then on another play, I think Knox just missed the shot. So I'm not too hard on the game, but I don't see that us right now being better than the Nets. We're about at the same place. So it's either or. I was hoping that we win, but we played hard, we played strong. And we just came up short at the end. Yeah, Timmy was getting blown by on defense, but, they pretty much just canceled each other out. I think the assist thing and the cutting is major. And I looked at the low turnovers, I looked at that as a problem because I felt as though they wasn't taking risks for passing because they were being too careful and the ball was being passed around the perimeter or to Cantor. There was nothing else going on with the ball as far as the ball movement to cause a turnover. And if you're going to play safe like that, most of the time you're not going to turn the ball over, but you're not going to be efficient either.
Right.
So,
I mean, I agree. There's no off the ball movement, and there's some things every once in a while you see it, but you don't see it's not enough, which is the reason why we have only 14 assists.
Yeah, they got to get that up. And with Frank was in that third quarter. He was impressive, and I was getting ready to cheer him on. But it felt as though as soon as he did that, he had that little run that it went back in his mind, like, okay, now I get enough. Now I can turn the offense back over to them again. Mm-hmm. And he should have just kept on pounding them because he found his places on the court. Now this is for the first time that I'm seeing Frank play that. I say, okay, there's a sweet spot for him. He's not all over the place now. And he was killing them with the pick and roll, shooting from the elbow. He should have kept that up until they had to do something. Instead of turning the offense back over to Timmy and him fading out. Because once he came back in the game, he was never the same again. Right. He wasn't as aggressive. He's still in his mind that I think that he thinks that I don't think that he's going to get that. He thinks that he's going to get pulled. I think that he'll be down. He felt as though he'll be down. It's something with him, and I don't think it's in the coach. I think that it's in him. It's him right then and there that he has to go. Allow himself to make a mistake.
Yeah, it's
him. More mistakes.
It's him.
That's a growing, and I see that with Knox too. They need to be comfortable with making mistakes.
Yeah, I see.
Or whatever.
Yeah, I see the same things in both of those guys. With Frank, what you're saying about him, not he went on his little 7-point run. I've seen a lot of players and coached a lot of players who they start to feel guilty that they took so many shots. Right? And so they're like, all right, let me chill out. I just took 4 shots in a row. Let me chill out. They might have made all 4 of them, but they feel guilty that they took so many shots. And I think Frank is that kind of a player. And maybe I'm hoping that he grows out of it, because you can see he can get to the spots that he needs to get. And people talk about him penetrating. Frank gets in the lane. He doesn't penetrate the way maybe some people want to see him penetrate, like just explode quickly to the basket. But if you watch him, he comes off the screen, he comes off the screen, right? And when he comes off the screen, he's able to cross back over, get in front of his man, right? Hold his man off behind him, and now he's looking. But he's in the paint while he's doing it. Almost like what Chris Paul does. Chris Paul does it a lot. He's in the paint while he's doing it. It's that it may not look speedy and quick and like a burst like some other players, but he gets in the paint.
Yeah, it's deceptive and it's savvy, but he gets there. And he needs to, really push that part of his game. And as far as his rebounding is concerned, they're not going to never rebound if all the shots are being taken and nobody is in the paint because there's no cutting. You're not even running into a rebound. The only one who's down there is Cantor. And they need, and that's what Piz needs to change. Okay, if y'all going to shoot 15 in, you're not shooting threes anyway. Somebody should be down there in that line, not just Cantor.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they're all hanging around on the perimeter. They're running the pick and roll at the top, and then everybody else are fade to a corner.
Yeah,
and that's they need to move more, and that's something that them players already know. You don't learn that in the NBA. You learn that in school. Yeah. You learn that in the yard. If you want the ball, you got to get open.
Exactly.
But everybody is concentrating on wanting to shoot the three. Yeah. So therefore, there's no rebounding, and you got to get that mindset away from those players.
Yeah,
you flash to the corner. If ain't nothing happening, boogie on to the next side. You make such the lane. They never put themselves in passing situations to build up assists. All assists is coming from a swing 3. Yeah. A swing 3, a swing 15-footer, and then you might get a shot. That's how come they're not getting any assists. It's crazy that they're playing like that. And with Frank playing, that's one thing that you think that it wouldn't be. But you're going to need assists somebody can get 2 assists and let him get 7 or something, but they're just not doing it. They're not moving right.
Yeah.
They're moving, but they're not moving right. Yeah. And with that, this is going to be a season where as though until, it might be the light bulb might go off one game and then they'll be like, damn, we get it. Okay. But as far as, like, you know, the structure, I see discipline in their movement, you know, between the Atlanta game and this game. They're moving the same. They're getting up and down the court. But they're not moving towards the basket for efficiency. And that's how they would get efficiency, all of that one. I don't think that it's like the one-on-one that's really doing it because nobody's moving. If they get more movement towards the basket, the assist is going to go up and the rebound to go up too because there's another body there.
Yeah.
And they need to – that's what I'm going to be looking on for the next 20 games.
All right.
They got to solve that puzzle, and then they'll be all right going forward.
All right.
Because right now we're just as, you know, the Knicks, that team played together last year. This is a new team.
Yeah.
So if you really look at it, the Nets do have the edge on us right now. We're putting things together. They've been together. They got a point guard that's in his third year. We got one in his second year.
Well, Rob the Nick, I appreciate the call, man. I'm going to get over here to the video chat. All right. Appreciate the call. Video chat. Let's get back to you. Let's get back to the video chat and see what you guys talking about over here. Viv, I'm coming to you, man. We did a lot of talk about offensive structure. A lot of people got a lot of opinions about it. I think you heard my opinion about it. Where you at with it, man? Offensive structure, and then, you know, we kind of jumped back and forth from offensive structure and then defense down the stretch. Hit me with what you think about offensive structure and then our defense down the stretch. Viv, can you hear me?
Oh,
Viv?
sorry. Yeah, sorry, Sid. Yeah, so look, man, we just need to pass the ball, and we need to move. Way too often, especially in the preseason, you got players that just, they just sit on the corner and just do nothing. Like, everyone is kind of guilty of that in some sort of, aspect where, whoever has the ball, they don't move. Like, they kind of do it when you set a play, but there's no real player movement. And I think everyone, has to have, some sort of accountability on that end. We need to, if we're going to, get tired just on defense, we got to get tired, running these offensive plays too, moving around on the floor. The 94 feet, that's both offensively and defensively. So, that will help us get a lot more structure. And I think just simply attempting just pass the ball more in just all situations, we'll get more assists that way. And the offense will be much more efficient. And we will also be a better defensive team because a lot of times we take bad shots and the other team is already out in the break. And they get a lot of easy baskets because you could tell, right? Like that flagrant foul that Cantor had, that was because Timmy took a bad shot on one end, and he stood on that end of the floor, while there was a 5-on-4 mismatch on the other end that led to the Cantor flagrant foul, and that was a 4-point swing right there. Yeah. So if you improve your offensive structure, it will have an impact on the defense. And that's my main goal in all of this, is just to be a lot more crisper and a lot more fluid. And look, with defense, it's just a lot of it. I mean, we kind of had like the energy and the hustle. I think it's just, we just got to be more diligent, and we got to be more careful in trying to finish each possession off. We tend to, play hard for 20 seconds and then give it the last 2 seconds.
Yeah.
We got to treat every single second important. And
guys got to guard their man. Stay in front of your man.
Yeah, and you got to stay in front of your man every single second of the play.
Exactly.
Don't assume nothing. It just take each second seriously, pretty much.
Yeah. All right, man. Let me get to Who's Mark. I haven't heard from Who's Mark in a while. Mark, what's going on, man?
All right.
You heard what I'm talking about with the offensive structure, right?
Yeah.
What do you think, man? What do you think? What do you think about the offense? I really feel we need some more structure.
Yeah, we need structure, but the reason why he's running freelance is because these players are not confident with taking their shots. Now, if they take the shots when it's given to them, when they're open, when I'm watching tonight on the floor, You should see the space Brooklyn gave some of our players. And I'm screaming, take the shot, take the shot. And the reason why he's not running set plays for them, because he can't call a play out for a player because they're not going to run the play correctly, because there was certain plays he was even running for Kanter. And every time he ran it for Kanter, he ran it perfectly fine. But with the guards, they're not even running the pick and roll correctly. Oh my God. So many times they're going to run the pick and roll, and they just incompetent on not running the pick and roll.
Yeah. And look, I'm not even talking about plays, man. I'm not talking about plays at all. I'm just talking about a set, not a set of plays, just a couple of sets where
the only set they run is for Tim Hardaway.
But I'm not even talking about. I'm talking about a set where a set is you come down and you pass it here, it initiates a play here, it initiates movement here, and here, and then you come back around. Once you've gone through the whole thing, you can do the whole. You can do it over again because it's continuous. It's not set for one.
That's what Brooklyn was doing to us all night.
It puts people in positions to be able to score, and once you have those type of sets, you have it down and it's natural, it's muscle memory, you don't have to think about it. Now you can start to branch off and say, okay, we're gonna go into our I don't want to say triangle offense because I don't want people to get crazy because we say triangle offense, but we're gonna go into our horn set. Right. But you might say, okay, we're going to go into our horn set, and off of the horn set, here's what we're going to do off of the horns set, right? Because horns is just a set, where you're going to set on the floor, and it, you have certain actions off of horns, and then you say, okay, I want you to pass the ball into the high post. Frank, you're going to go down the screen for Tim Hardaway Jr. Down along the baseline. Tim Hardaway, you're going to, once you come up that screen, you're going to cut straight to the basket. You're not going to come up to get the ball. And then Frank, you're going to come back around. Knox, you're going to hand it off to Frank, and you guys are going to run a screen or roll right there from the elbow. You know what I'm saying? Okay, that's one thing that they're going to do out of horns. Then you can say, on the next dead ball, timeout or whatever, you say, okay, we're going to go back in the horns, and we're going to do, and you call something different on the opposite side of the floor or whatever it is. But you have that set, and you know the basics of that set. And then you can call, and you can branch out, and you can run a million, trillion plays off of these sets.
So they're trying something right now. They have the double screen pin downs where they kind of...
It's like this. Sometimes I see Frank set screens for the guards, and when he does it, he doesn't set it correctly how he's supposed to set it. But they're not running the simple things at all, Simeon. Our guard play is, if we don't have guard play that's aggressive, nothing is going to work. It's just not going to happen. That's why he only goes to Kanter. That's why he runs those sets with Kanter. Because Kanter makes something happen every time. Because he's aggressive, scoring to the basket.
He's unstoppable in the post. Yeah, I feel you. I mean, listen. I sincerely, I just really hope that he has his, the basis of his whatever his structure is or whatever his system is. I hope he has the base components in, and right now they're just working through the base components. I can accept that.
Gotta go in and out, man.
I can accept that all day. If he says, listen, we have our basic components in, we got to get our basics down, and then out of our basics, we'll be able to do this, and this. So I'm hoping that's what it is. I really hope that's what it is. Because I get, I get really frustrated when I see guys just running around doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Uh-oh. We got the king in the house. My man came in with a crown. This is what I'm talking about. You only get this on Nothing But Knicks. And listen, before we move on to the next thing,
King NT, that's what they call me.
Let me welcome Ant into the chat. Nate is back.
No, you gotta ask them that.
It looks like he lost connection, so I'm sure Viv will be back. But just to break up a little bit from talking about the Knicks, I want to show you guys we had a great time at the opening night kickoff. You know what I mean? We really had a good time. And I want to, while we're talking a little bit, I'm going to I'm just gonna let a couple of pictures run through while we're talking a little bit, and I'm gonna get Ant. Ant, I'm gonna ask you about the defense down the stretch. We're gonna get into that. Then we're gonna do some player ratings. Then we're gonna talk about some positive things because we've been kind of crushing the team tonight. All right. And while we're talking, I'm just gonna let some pictures go through so you guys can see some pictures from the game. You won't really see pictures of the game, but you're gonna see pictures of people who were at the event with us, and man, we had a ball. I just want to give a special big shout out to everybody who attended, everyone who was there. We had a great time, and we had great vibes from everybody. And without you guys there, we couldn't have had we couldn't have had the kind of fun that we had. You know what I mean? Without you guys being there. So I thank you guys, and I can't wait to do it again. The Martin Luther King Day tickets are available, so get them because, I know a lot of people can't wait to do it. So here it is, couple of slides. Check out the pictures, and we're going to continue to talk about the game. All right? I'm going to get to Ant right now. Ant, did you see the game?
Yo, how was the opening night?
It was nice. It was real nice, man. We had a ball. I'm going next time. I got pictures. I got pictures sliding through right now. MLK. Oh yeah, that's what's up, man. Hopefully you can make it through for MLK.
I'm gonna try to be there for MLK Day though.
Yeah, definitely. So let me ask you: Did you get a chance to see tonight's game? Ant, did you get a chance to see tonight's game? I guess Ant can't hear me. I don't know. Ant, can you hear me? Ant can't hear me. I'm gonna go ahead and get to a phone call, and we'll come back to Ant. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping? Caller. Hello. What's popping, man?
Yeah. Hello. How you doing?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's going on, man?
Man?
What'd you say?
This is Patrick Ewing calling, man.
Pat Ewing, what's poppin'?
So what's going on, man?
Yeah, so did you see the game tonight?
Yeah. Listen, man, I've been listening to you guys talking about the game, right? And it is everything you guys are saying is true. But the reason for the problems, I kind of disagree though. To me, I think I said it the last show. I kind of alluded to it my last time when I called, right? That the problem is that they're playing the wrong players. That's the issue, right? Earlier in the show, you were talking about Kanter. You said Kanter, one of the things that Kanter is just not a shot blocker, right? He's limited. He's good at other things. He's just not a shot blocker, right? You can't blame him for that.
Right.
The same thing is true with all these guys they're playing, right? These guys don't know how to play team basketball. That's not their thing. Trier, I know you like Trier because you like his scoring chops. The guys are one-on-one players. So is Timmy. So is Burke. Even my man Knox is a little bit like that. He's a little bit of a chuckle. Those guys are they don't play team concept basketball. So that's why when you're talking about the offense, there's no offensive structure. That's the reason. These guys, they're all one, and so they're like Kanter in the you mentioned Kanter on the defensive end being limited. These guys are limited on offense. Individually, if you're playing one-on-one basketball, like if you're in a playground.
Oh, now you're playing one-on-one. There you go.
Hey, boom, we can hear him now.
We on money.
I'm sorry. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. Now I'm saying if you're in the playground playing one-on-one basketball, they look good. But once you start, this is the NBA. You got to play team ball. These guys can't do it, and this is the reason why the offense looks so disjointed. So to me, the issue is Fizdale not putting the right guys on the court. He's falling into the same trap that all these other coaches have fallen into. He says he wants defensive guys. He says he wants to change the culture, but then he turns around and puts in these guys because they can score a little bit, but they can't play team ball. In my opinion, you see Frank. How did Frank play today? Frank was really good today, right? Especially in that third quarter. He needs to put guys like that on the floor. Once you start putting, even counter defensively, you're right, not great defensively, but offensively, Kanter knows what he's doing, right? Kanter knows exactly what he's doing. That's a team guy. Kanter will pass the ball. You get him in the post, you double team him, Kanter can pass. Frank, the same thing. Even Baker. Again, Baker's not a really talented dude, but one thing Baker can do is he understands team concept. I think Dotson, to another extent, to a player like that. Those are the kind of guys you want to see team basketball. Those are the guys you got to put in there. You got to put those guys in there to play, and then you start to see semblance of a team game coming around, right? And then you won't be. And then the good thing is these guys all play defense too. Dotson, for example, is even. I'd really like to give Dotson a shot because the guy. At least he can shoot. Baker can play D, but he can't shoot. Dotson plays good D, and he can shoot a little bit. Those are that's the issue. He's relying too much on Burke. He's relying too much on Tim. He's relying too much on Trier, and the only person I would give a break to is Knox because he's not 19, and he does play team concepts pretty good actually. In summer league, you saw him. He would move without the ball. He's like Doug McDermott, right? He moves without the ball very well. So if you put a guy, so he has a rudimentary understanding of team basketball, and so these are the guys you need to put there. He needs to put Frank at the point. If you put Frank at the point, you're not going to have all these issues, right? Frank had 5 assists tonight, right? And you saw the way he's playing, and he's getting better. People keep complaining he doesn't look for his offense, and you see he's showing a better rhythm with that. And I agree with you too. He gets in the paint. He's just not the type of dude. It was a game against, I think it was Atlanta. He got in the paint, and then he stopped because they double teamed him. They cut him off. The two players came to meet him, right, when he went to the paint. And Frank stopped, right? Yeah. Why? Because he knows, common sense to tell you, if you double team, somebody's open.
Right.
So he waited. Van Lee cut to the basket. He passed the ball to Van Lee, and Van Lee got a layup. Yeah. This is the kind of stuff Frank will do. But people like Trier and those guys, they're going to try and look for the highlight play. They're going to go up against two guys, and then sometimes they're going to make it, but other times they're not going to make it. This is so Fizz is the problem, in my opinion, in terms of who he's putting on the court. Okay. You guys want to see good basketball? Put the guys on the team who know how to play team basketball. You know what I mean? So that's my issue, man. I think that's where the issue is. And I think one more thing, I know you got to go, but one more thing in terms of you're saying that he hasn't implemented his concepts, his offensive concepts yet. That's part of the reason too, because he realized these guys they don't have the, I don't want to say they're low IQ, but the IQ I have to say, their basketball IQ is probably not that high, so he can't implement what he wants to implement. But if he puts in guys, same guys I'm talking about, who have a better understanding of team ball, he could probably put in more of his concepts in, and you will see people run it. But you saw it today. Trier was, when the shot's not falling, he looks awful. Tim Hardaway scored 29, but he took 25 shots to do it, and defensively the guy's awful. Same thing with Burke. People were saying Burke was singing his praises when he dominated Trae Young. Trae Young is like 6 foot what? Like he's like a midget. So, he's got to look good. Today, when he's going up today, he didn't look all that good. Same thing with Timmy and LeVert. LeVert made Timmy look like And then Frank, you know what I mean? You need... Anyway, that's what I'm saying, man. I'm going to go, but I just want to say, man, that's the frustrating part. They're going to continue to look like this as long as they're playing these guys that don't have the IQ to play ball. That's the problem.
I'm with you there. I'm with you there because everything is about basketball IQ. And if you're playing guys that have no basketball IQ, then that's the way it's going to look, man. Hey, Pat Ewing, man, we say it sounds like Pat Ewing. We appreciate the call. I'm going to get back to the video chat. We had a little bit of a technical difficulty because the chat couldn't hear me, but I think we back in effect. And my man, the Entertainer, just jumped in. So, Entertainer, man, what's popping, bro?
What's popping? I I can't hear. I hear everybody in the background. I'm sorry. No, I just wanted to say hello. I enjoyed meeting everybody at the game, and I had a great time. I just wanted to thank you, Sim, for setting everything up. I had a blast.
Ah, man, I had a blast too, man. It was great, and I can't wait to do it again. The Martin Luther King. I seen some people in the chat asked about the Martin Luther King Day event. It's Martin Luther King is January 21st. It is a matinee. They play OKC. The tickets are available now. We need to try to sell them out by the 26th so that we can get we can get the room booked before somebody else sweeps in and gets it. So if you're thinking about going, I need to jump on those tickets now. You can go right to the website and get the tickets. I will put the link in the chat right now. So, Entertainer, man, what you think about the game?
I think there's a lot of positives to take from the game. Of course, everybody's upset that they lost the game. But I liked how Frank bounced back in the second half. I thought he played well offensively in the second half. I think Knox played well down the stretch. He came up with a couple of tough offensive rebounds, kept them in the game. Cantor, of course, was unbelievable all night long. I thought that the Vonleh should have played more, especially against this team. They were getting killed on the glass. But overall, it was a tough loss. There's no doubt about it. But I took a lot of and they maintained a good pace of play like they did in the first game. So I think there was a lot of positives from tonight.
Yeah. We're definitely going to get to some positive things. I wanted people to air themselves out a little bit because there's definitely some things that we'll be able to take from the game.
The one thing I'm sure it's the hot topic on the show tonight is how does he have Hardaway, guarding him on the last play there? That's got to be Frank.
And what I would say to that is that at some point you got to make players accountable. You know what I'm saying? You got to say, this is your man. You got to make the stop. You know what I mean? At some point, I think, you got to say that to a player. Yeah, this is your man. You stop him. I don't know.
I just think that I personally might not even have Hardaway in the game at that point. I would want to have my best defenders in the game. I didn't understand why I even had Hardaway in the game, to be honest with you, on that play.
Okay.
I thought Fizdale did a couple of questionable things in this game.
Okay. Yeah. Well.
But I mean, it's one game. But I'm not going to get too critical over the guy.
Let me tell you something that I noticed that he does that, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but I do notice sometimes at the end of halves or the end of quarters, we'll get down. It'll be last 2 minutes in the quarter, or last 2 minutes in the half, and he'll make a substitution that I'm like, that I just question.
Well, I know you like Ron Baker, but what is he? He's playing 25 minutes a game. I mean, what's that about?
Let me see. What did Ron Baker? I think Ron Baker played 17 minutes again. Played 17 minutes today.
Okay, opening night he played 27. So, but I mean, I feel like he's getting too many minutes personally. He played horrible tonight.
Yeah, but Baker played 18 minutes. I mean, I don't know right now. I mean, he did. He played horrible, but right now, I don't know who you play over him if you're having another guard on the floor, unless you just,
like the chat saying you could play Dotson. You could go with a bigger lineup and give Vonleh more minutes. Mario only played 13 minutes. I mean, there was a lot of guys they could have distributed the minutes to other than Baker.
My thing about that with Dotson is, people talk about some players ball handle. I mean, Dotson. This is where I say. People keep talking about positionless basketball, but clearly it's not totally positionless. Or you would say, okay, well, we'll just put Dotson in, but he has Baker on there because he believes Baker is playing that lead guard position when he's on the floor. You know what I'm saying? And so he doesn't want to put Dotson in there because he doesn't believe he's a lead guard, I guess, instead of Baker.
How do you think we're going to do against Boston tomorrow night?
You know what? I don't know. I guess I just don't know enough about the team yet to say, how we're going to perform. You know what I mean? I just don't. New York. I don't know how much. I just don't. I like to see his rebound. You know, well, I mean, we didn't get blown out, so I don't know if I want to say a rebound, but I want to see us come out and compete. I think we'll be up for the game. That's the one thing I'll say. I don't think there'll be a lack of energy at all. There shouldn't be.
I don't think there's gonna be a lack of energy with this team all year. We've seen it the first 2 games. I think that's the strength of this team is they're gonna give you all they got every night, and that's something you got to respect. And that's what Fizdale gets out of his players, and that's a good sign so far this year.
Yeah,
I'm standing by my prediction. I still think this team could win in the mid-30s this year. I like what I've seen the first 2 games, even though they lost tonight. I like what I've seen the first 2 weeks.
Yeah,
first 2 games.
Yeah, I think we can win in the mid-30s. I mean, tonight, we lost. We shot 40% from the field. They shot 49% from the field.
The reason we lost tonight is the rebounding. We got out rebounded by 19, and that was the reason we lost.
But part of the reason why we got out rebounded by 19 is because they made shots. They made 50% of their shots, so there's not as many defensive rebounds coming off the board. We only made 40% of our shots, so there's a lot more defensive rebounds coming off the board that they can get.
That's a good point. We also got a lot more attempts because they had 19 more turnovers than we did. So that's a good point.
Yeah. So, Ant.
Oh.
What's your take, man? Did you see the game tonight? What's your take?
Unfortunately, I missed the game, but I saw the box score. I saw a few of the highlights. Listening to you guys, I got a pretty good gist of what went down.
Mm-hmm.
I saw all over Twitter that Tim Hardaway Jr. was guarding Karis LeVert on the last play.
Yeah.
When I saw that pop up on my timeline, I was kind of dumbfounded. I don't understand why Tim was even in the game at that point. Or the game, the guy that had Karis LeVert had 28 points. So I feel like LeVert was kind of cooking us. So I don't understand why Tim was on LeVert. I would have had maybe Dotson in for him, or even Baker on the court for him, or put Frank on him, or even go to a longer defender. Even put a Knox on him or something like that. I would prefer any of those guys over Tim Hardaway Jr. in that moment.
Okay.
With the game on the line like that. I'm kind of glad I didn't see the game because the way they lost was it was heartbreaking. It was terrible. So. Yeah. But it seemed like an exciting game. One thing I took from all of the highlights I saw in the reactions was that we played hard. So they didn't quit giving. So I think Fizdale has the guys doing at least that. And it's early in the year, and I think that if they can continue to play hard, I feel like the more efficient offensive sets and the cohesiveness, I feel like that will come along as the season goes on. But getting them to play hard, I feel like is a big accomplishment so far for Fizz.
Okay, all right. Let's move into player ratings, and that was something that I had earlier. We're gonna do this really quick. We'll just talk about the starting 5, and I'm gonna come around to each one of you. Just tell me really quick where you think, what you would rate their play. I'll and I'll run down their names real quick in case you didn't know who's in the starting 5. Ant, since you're up, I'll start with you. Well, you didn't even see the game, so it's hard to start with you. Entertainer, I'll start with you. All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Frank Ntilikina, what do you rate him today? Just out of 10.
First half, I give him a C minus in the first half. Second half, I give him a B plus.
Okay.
Overall, I'll give him a C plus.
Okay. All right. Lance Thomas.
D. D minus.
Cantor.
A. All
right. Burke.
I give him an A. I give him an A mark. He was terrific tonight. Go ahead.
Okay. Hardaway.
Hardaway. I'm gonna give him a B because he had the big turnover at the end and he had the bad defensive play at the end. So I'm gonna give him a B.
Hardaway gonna average over 20.
Hardaway's averaging 30 right now.
Yeah, he's averaging 30 right now. Trier.
Trier didn't get to play that much, right? I think he only had about 13, 14 minutes.
Yeah, like 15
But he was inefficient when he played, so I'll give him I'd give him a C minus.
Okay, and Kevin Knox.
Who'd you say, Kevin Knox?
Yeah.
I'll give him a C plus. I liked how he played in the second half.
Okay. All right. And I mean that's about everybody that really did anything. Let me see. Dave, I'm gonna come to you. Frank. What do you give?
I give him a B plus because he's the only reason that this game was even competitive in the second half.
Okay. Lance Thomas.
I give him probably a D- because he just did nothing out there.
And there's Cantor.
Cantor, I'm gonna give him a B. B or B-, somewhere in between. Look, that defense kind of just hurt us a lot, and that's where I'll put him.
All right. Tim Hardaway Jr.
Tim, I'll give him a B. The offense was there. Got caught with the defense a little too much, so I'll give him a B.
And Trey Burke.
Trey Burke, I'm gonna give him probably a C- because he had a rough game out there.
And let's go Alonzo Trier.
Trier, I would probably give him a C-, probably maybe a D+.
Yeah. And Kevin.
Knox, I'm gonna give him probably a C+ or C+. He scored, but it just like way too often it felt like he just didn't want to be there. He was like, I want to go home type. There's something's kind of weird. He has to something with the body language. I'm just it's just kind of weird right now.
All right. Let me see. Mark, I'm gonna call Mark and Nate, and then we'll start talking about Celtics. Mark, give me your grades for give me your grades for the players. I'm gonna run the names down. Frank Ntilikina, quick grade.
B+, because he's our defense, man. So.
All right. Lance Thomas.
F.
And that's Cantor.
Can I get a B- because he get a B- because he grabbed rebounds in offense and his defense is just
Yeah, all right. Trey Burke.
He get a D- for me because he got cooked by D'Angelo in the fourth quarter. Sorry.
He was cooking him in the fourth. Yeah. Tim Hardaway.
Tim Hardaway, I'll give him a B. I was gonna give him a B+, but the game winner got hit on him because he's kept prancing on defense, and that's not how you move your feet.
All right. Alonzo Trier.
Alonzo Trier get a C- because he did in the second quarter. He kind of kept us above water in the second quarter, so I'll give him a C-.
And then Kevin Knox.
I'll give him a C- because he has this in and out complex, like he's there and then he's not, and then he hit a clutch, he hit a tying shot, he hit a timely shot, but I'm gonna give him a C-.
Okay, all right. I want to hear
his
about
defense was horrible too.
Celtics. I want to hear about Celtics. I'm gonna start with you, Mark. Then I'm gonna come to Nate, Prince, and Real Shark Finn. What do you see? What do we gotta do versus the Celtics? What do you want to see versus the Celtics? I don't know if we know enough right now to know exactly, to really, really break down and strategize that much. What do you want to see?
Listen, Tim Hardaway better have the game he had these last two nights, because this is where I'm saying we're not going to be able to score 100, because what the Celtics was doing to Toronto tonight, but they're going to kill us defensively. And all I'm thinking about is Marcus Smart, what he's going to do to our guards. He's gonna bind our guards up, man.
Mm-hmm.
Our guards is gonna be in and out the game, so we're gonna have to rely on Tim Hardaway again and Cantor on the rebounds. And the thing too, we have to worry about rebounds, because Aaron Baines, he's been looking good for the Celtics, bro. And then Jason Tatum. Oh, hold on. Can we start Frank tomorrow instead of Trey Burke, because we got Kyrie in the building, and you know how he's gonna get in the Garden. So that's all I have to say. Kyrie's gonna torch us tomorrow.
That's gonna be interesting. All right, let me see. I'm gonna come to Prince. Prince, what's your take on tomorrow night's game?
Definitely, we got to play more of a team game. We got to share the ball a lot more. We definitely can't get into the same type of basketball we've been playing these last couple of nights. Very unselfish. We're gonna be in trouble. They're gonna run us out the gym. We definitely got to play a lot better defense. We got to be able to communicate a lot better. Hopefully, like I said, if we see that, we should see a competitive game. But if we get out there and we get to, ISO Zoe in it, and ISO Tim Hardaway Jr., they're going to run us out the gym early. So definitely we got to play a lot better basketball than we played these last 2 nights.
Okay. All right. Real Shark Fin.
Yeah, we gotta stretch the floor, Sim. We gotta stretch the floor, and we gotta stop that dribble penetration. That dribble penetration is killing us, man. That's becoming our new Achilles heel, you know. And it was the pick and roll defense. Now it seemed like it went from that to the dribble penetration, man. They just killed us, Sim. Like that got us off to a real bad start, man. So I think we gotta get that defense, that on the ball defense at the point guard position. We gotta, cause Kyrie, I'm telling you, they lost tonight and it's gonna be a problem tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Ant, I'm coming to you. Cause I see Isaiah like woofing. I don't even know what he's woofing about. He's just woofing. So I'm gonna come to Ant, you know, cause he's gonna start Ant tomorrow night.
Yeah. Tomorrow night, I just want to see us compete, man. The Celtics are really they're really good. So I just want to see us compete. Maybe like with 5 minutes to go, we have a chance to win the game. I want to see ball movement. I want to see Knox, have another solid game. I want to see Frank starting. I think asking Trey Burke to start on Kyrie Irving and Madison Square Garden is a disaster waiting to happen. I want to see Timmy. I got to say, in front of the world, man, Timmy has been playing pretty decently this year. And I think I owe him a little bit of respect. He's been scoring the ball. He's been shooting pretty well. Tonight he was 10 for 25 or something like that. But I want to see Tim, continue to progress, maybe shoot around 45, 50%. And yeah, I want to see Alonzo Trier go off at the Garden again. I think Alonzo Trier in the Garden is going to be a lot of fun this year. So
I agree with you there. I think he'll be a lot of fun. And so far for the season, Tim Hardaway, let's see, first game against Atlanta, we know we scored 31. Tim Hardaway shot 45.5% from the field. He shot 40% from the field today, so that puts him somewhere around 42, 43%. So far, obviously, it's only two games,
Right. But if he's averaging 30,
but that's not good though. But see to me that's not good, because if you're shooting 42% and you're averaging 30, that means you're taking 26 shots to get that 30 points.
That's true.
That's
maybe if he can get it up to if he can get up to 45.
He got to find a way to get up to 45%, which means to me he's got to take it to the basket more. Because even if he's not at 45%, if he takes it to the basket more, Timmy's going to get to the line.
I think he kind of cheapens his game when he doesn't take it to the basket more. Because Tim, he's talented. He can drive the ball. He's just, especially in transition. In transition, going to the basket, he's hard to stop.
Yeah.
So, I think when he just settles for jump shots, he kind of cheapens his game a little bit. But I hope if we win tomorrow, I hope we do. But I just want to see us be competitive and have fun.
Yeah.
Couple dunks, crossovers.
Okay. All right. Isaiah, give me your take on tomorrow night. Yep, give me your take on tomorrow night's game. You got something going on in the background though. I don't know what that is.
Hold on. Yo, hey, Tim, you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
I just want to say one thing. If nobody ever hangs with the Entertainer, they're missing out. Entertainer is by far one of my favorite people that we hanged out with the other day. Entertainer is one of the best people to talk sports with. I love the Entertainer. If anybody gets a chance to meet the Entertainer, man, you got to meet this guy. This guy's great.
Yeah, he is.
That's my bromance, yo. He's my bromance.
He's a good dude.
He's my bromance.
He's a good dude. He's a real good dude right there.
But he's a genuine dude, though. Seriously, he's a genuine, honest, good. He's a good guy, man. Genuinely, seriously.
Yeah.
But
so what's your take?
My take is that we I want the Knicks to take note, because we're probably gonna get spanked tomorrow. I'm gonna be honest. The Celtics are to me, they're gonna go to the finals. So I think they're gonna play team ball. They're gonna play defense. They're gonna play hard. And I want the Knicks to play hard, man. I want the Knicks to actually get over 25 assists, and I listen. I'm gonna be real with you, man. I need more from Tim Hardaway. I need more. I said it before. We getting paid $18 million. That defense that I saw, that's not $18 million. If you're gonna be bad on defense, you better be Kevin Durant good at scoring. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We need to play better defense. We need to play harder. We need to be a team, a good rebounder. The only thing that I can say that we might be good on the boards, because that's one of Boston's weaknesses. They can't rebound the ball well because they just don't have the good bigs to rebound the ball. So we got to take care of that tomorrow.
Okay. All right. And Entertainer?
Yeah, my strategy tomorrow, I would start Ntilikina at the point because you need to be able to guard Kyrie. I would start Ntilikina at the point. I would start Knox, and I'd probably give Mario more minutes because I think they're going to need to hit more threes in this game to have a chance. So I would give Mario more minutes tomorrow night.
Okay. All right.
That would be my strategy. I would definitely start Ntilikina. I'd give Mario probably 20 to 25. And I think I'd start Knox tomorrow. I think Knox are in the start.
Okay. All right. So then who are you taking out the starting lineup? Trey Burke?
I would tomorrow night I would bench Burke. I would bench Burke tomorrow night.
All right.
I mean, if you look, the Celtics start 3 forwards and a center. They don't start 2 guards. I know that Marcus Smart gets a lot of minutes, but I think you need a little bit bigger lineup tomorrow night.
Okay. All right. Nate?
Yeah, I agree with Entertainer. I think that Knox has got to start because I don't want to see Jaylen Brown against Burke. That's a big height advantage, and Jaylen Brown will just take him in the post the whole time. So I definitely want to see Knox in there. I think Burke's better coming off the bench. Also, too, I want to see them compete defensively. I mean, we've seen some good stuff in them. You watch that third quarter. That's a defense that we played against the Hawks the whole game. So we got to keep that defense consistent. We got to force turnovers. We got to play big inside. We got to rebound. I mean, if we don't rebound, we're going to get killed because Al Horford is a beast inside. And also, too, we got to pass the ball because one thing about Boston always takes away your best player. If you watch KP when he plays against Boston, they always take him out of the game. So they're probably going to take Hardaway out, so somebody else is going to have to step up. So that's why I say Knox needs to get in the starting lineup because maybe he can boost that offense and get that flow going.
Okay. And I want to add my little 2 cents in here, about the Celtics and the Knicks. One, and I'm going to go back to this because I'm going to continue to harp on this until I see it. A team like the Boston Celtics is the exact reason why you need to have some kind of structure on offense. Because playing a freewheeling type of a game is not going to get it against the Celtics. They are going to shut that down really, really fast. And then you're going to have nothing. You're going to have nothing to go to. The whole reason why you have a structure in your offense is so when you are not able to score, you're having problems getting open. Because a team like the Celtics, they're going to jam you on every cut. They're going to jam you on every screen and then slash to the basket. You're getting jammed, right? So you've got to have counters, and when you're freewheeling it, you don't have counters. You don't have counters. Not when you're a team like we are, right? That's the whole that's the reason that you need to have some kind of a structure, something that you can fall into. Because when the going gets tough, the tough got to get going, and in order for us to get going, you got to have something to rely on. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. It's me. Exactly. You said it keeps the team honest. It keeps them honest. And if we're freewheeling it, we'll get taken out the game really, really early. Efficient shooting to me is going to be a key. We could get away with it versus the Nets. You can get away with it. You can get away with it versus the Hawks. We shot decent versus the Hawks, 46%. You can get away with it against the Hawks, though. If we shot 40% against the Hawks, we still might have won a close game. Against the Nets, you're not going to get away with it unless they're shooting bad. I mean, against the Celtics, you're not going to get away with it. Right? It's already going to be tough to score on them. And if we're shooting a bad percentage, I mean, we can be left at 75 points, right? If we shoot 40% from the field. All right, we've got to take good, efficient, smart shots. And one of the reasons that you take good, efficient, smart shots, and this is I continue to harp on efficiency, is that efficiency also puts you in position to rebound. When you take good shots, you take smart shots, you're now in position to rebound the basketball, right? So we've got to take good shots against the Celtics so that we can rebound the basketball, so we can compete on the boards. If not, we're going to be in trouble. Okay? I'm definitely putting Ntilikina on Kyrie Irving. Maybe not the whole game, but at least to start the game. You're going to have to make things tough for Kyrie. You really got to make things tough for Kyrie. The Celtics got a lot of weapons when you got Jason Tatum, when you got Gordon Hayward, you got Kyrie Irving, Jaylen Brown. They got a lot of weapons out there on the floor. We are going to have to be on point defensively. Our rotations got to be right. We can't be sloppy in any portion of the game, or we'll get blown. Now, I'm one who thinks that, match size, matching up with them as far as size, I think we're okay. Even like the entertainer said, start Knox. We'll match up with size pretty good, I think. Now we got to stop guys from coming down the lane, because they're gonna have some guys like Jaylen Brown and them guys that they'll put it on. Their nuts will be on Enes Kanter's neck if they do not play good defense, especially on that perimeter. You know what I'm saying? Especially on that perimeter. So we're going to have to guard that the perimeter. We're going to have to, Nate making a lot of noise in the background. Sorry about that. We're going to have to guard that perimeter. We need good help side defense. We got to talk to each other. We got to communicate on the defensive end. If we're not doing that, because the Celtics are going to be a smart, patient ball club on the offensive side of the floor. So we've got to be able to play defense for 24 seconds. Right? We can't play defense for 10 seconds. Can't play defense for 15 seconds and then stop. We've got to be able to play, and our rotations are going to have to be on point. All right? It's a great test. It's a great test for us. Not to see where we are, because, we know we're not any kind of team that's in contention right now. It's a great test to see, can we compete? Can we step up and compete against a team like the Celtics, a team that are definitely championship contenders? Let's step up and show. Come out. If we get a win, that's beautiful. But come out and compete and let them know that we're coming in a couple of years, a year or two. We're coming. But compete and let them know that we're here. And this is a team that's going to play tough. They're going to play physical. We got to be able to match it. I am a little bit concerned about Kevin Knox in this game, though. Not going to lie. Not that he's not strong, but he already has the type of personality where he'll fade away from a game. We've been seeing it, and hopefully, he faded away from tonight's game, and he still had 17 points. That shows you how much talent the kid has, right? But there are times when you're out there that he kind of fades away. Like we've all said, a team like the Celtics, you fade away from the game, you might as well not exist, because they're just going to take you out. So what I want to see is, this is a test that I'm looking at for Knox. A team like the Celtics that's going to play you aggressively, that's going to play you physical. Does that make him say, oh, let me step in and play? Because, some guys, you have some guys who have so much talent. We see this with Melo. Let me see. There are other guys that had so much talent. What's his name? I can't even think of his name, from way back in the day, that played with Kenny Anderson on the Nets, went to Syracuse. Derek Coleman had so much talent. And everything just comes easy to him, and the basketball IQ is like, they just know where things are happening on the floor, that works against them. Right? They don't have to work all through high school, AAU, all that stuff. They have to work as hard as everyone else to be good on the floor. So they didn't build that work ethic. They can relax running down the floor on the defensive end because they understand where the ball is. And, oh, okay, I just get this guy right here. I don't have to hustle all the way back. And it makes them look bad on the floor sometimes. Right? Because of that. And it's a weird conundrum. You know, it is. But it happens with players who are that talented. But sometimes when you get players who are that talented, when they now come up against guys that really can hoop, all of a sudden you see something come out in their game that's like, whoa, wait a minute, where did this come from? Where did this aggressiveness come from? We didn't know that they had this aggressiveness because, you know, that other team now brings that competitive nature out in them. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see, but it can go both ways. It can bring that competitive nature out of Knox. It can make Knox say, oh, let me get in this. This is what I like. Now I'm going to get nasty. Or it can make him kind of fall back in the corner like, oh, shit. I didn't know it was going to be like this. So that's what I'm looking to see in this game from Kevin Knox and the Celtics. It's going to be interesting way. We had 2 games. Kind of test the waters out a little bit, see what we have now. You know, we got a nice little heavyweight match right here against the Celtics. And if we can perform well, I'll be happy. If we can perform well, I'll be happy. You know what I mean? I'll be really happy. So I'm going to come around to you guys, give you guys 30 seconds for a few last words. And then I'm going to go ahead and head off, man, and get ready for tomorrow night's game. All right? And I will be on tomorrow night at 7 o'clock to do a preview for the game. I wanted to do I'm going to do the pregame tomorrow at 7. I wanted to do a preview tonight. I don't know if I'm going to do it tonight. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I just came back from an event, came right in to do this. I don't know. You know, I'm not sure, but I'll definitely be on for the pregame. And then I'll be on after the game. And if I feel up to it, I might do halftime tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. But I'm going to come around to you guys, man, so we can I just want to get some last words from you. And we can sign this off. And we'll definitely catch up with you guys tomorrow night. So, Real Shark Fan, I'm coming to you, brother. 30 seconds.
I just want to see a competitive game tomorrow, man. They coming in our house. I want us to protect our house. That's real big. If we can protect home court during this season, we got a great shot at making the playoffs. But we got to make a statement. This is a statement game. As far as the division is concerned, this is going to be a big game tomorrow. So shout out to the chat. Sim, you already know what time it is.
No doubt. Appreciate it.
All right, y'all have a good night, y'all.
All right, tomorrow night. Peace.
Sharks in the water.
No doubt.
I got you.
Let me see who I'm coming to. Boom. Nate, coming to you, man. What's up, Nate?
Shout out to the chat. Sim, you said earlier about the chemistry. Mm-hmm. You got to set the foundation of what Fizdale's got to set the foundation of what they want to do, and then they got to follow it. That's what the Spurs do. I mean, I don't know if you saw yesterday, DeRozan, he's an ISO player, but he was passing the ball around and flowing within the Spurs offense. That's a perfect example that it can be done, but you have to set the foundation and your players have to follow. Right. So I think the Knicks can do it. It's just going to take time.
Yeah, and you know what? And you know why that was done, Nate? That was, and the reason why that's done, the reason why he's able to come in and fit in and still do his thing is because the Spurs, they have a system that players have been doing for years. And the players follow through what the system is about. And so when new players come in, these other players can teach them, show them, but the structure is the structure's there. And it's like you play within our structure, you get yours, how you get yours, but within our structure. If not, then you got the rock. Exactly. And one final bold prediction, we'll win tomorrow.
and Knox is gonna have his coming out party against the Boston Celtics.
Okay, sound good to me.
Y'all have a good night. Shout out.
No doubt.
Later.
Peace. Isaiah, it's on you, my brother. What's up?
Oh man, what's going on, man? I was just talking to Chris, telling him about like when he meets my father, he's gonna love him. My dad's gonna love him. He's a great guy. All he gotta do is talk Mets with him, Giants and Knicks. He's gonna love Chris. My takeaway, I just want us to play hard tomorrow. You know, I honestly don't expect to win because the Celtics are just a great team, but I just want us to play hard. I want us to play a lot more. Play winning basketball, man. Make the right passes. Let's get active on defense, and let's just do our thing, man. Whatever comes out, as long as we play hard and play the right way, I'm fine with whatever results come out. Yep, that's about it, man. Peace to the chat. Everybody have a good, safe night. Enjoy the game tomorrow. That's it. Blackest time. Enjoy the night, guys.
Peace. Ant, it's on you, Ant.
Yo, man. Shout out to the chat. At a late night, man. But I'm just eating. But you know, I missed the game, unfortunately. But you know, I always love coming up here. You know, you guys, it's fun. You know, I look forward to coming up here. But tomorrow night, man, I just hope we play hard. You know, hope we don't get blown out, especially at the Garden. Just play hard, play with some heart. You know, show some improvements. I want to see the young guys, you know, make some nice plays. Kevin Knox play with some confidence. And regardless of the outcome, man, if the Fizz kids play hard, man, I'll be pleased, man. I'm not looking for wins and losses right now. I'm looking for, you know, effort. So, you know, that's what I'm looking for.
All right. I'll catch you tomorrow night, Ant.
Definitely. I'll be here at 7, yo.
No doubt. Peace. All right, Viv.
All right, Sim. Shout out to the chat. It's a tough loss, but you know there's a lot to learn from for tomorrow in the future. So, look, I don't doubt that the players are going to play hard. It's just a real question: can the players play smart? So you know, if we can be intelligent while we're out there, that's going to make a big difference. Mm-hmm. So, you know, it's going to be tough tomorrow. We got a team that barely has any chemistry in us versus a team that's got a lot of chemistry in Boston and, you know, much better team for obvious reasons. But I guess what we can do is just hope to try to make it competitive as possible in a sense. You know, even if we're down, like, say 10, right? As long as we're not like getting blown out early on, you know, if we kind of make it interesting, you know, hopefully the fans will be excited. And the only way we'll even get to that point is to continue to move the ball, play tough defense, and always be attentive out there. That includes everyone from the rooks to, you know, any of the vets. So as long as we maintain those three principles, then, you know, I think the game will be kind of interesting from that standpoint. And look, it's going to be a tough stretch. So we're going to have a lot of difficult games, including Golden State next Friday. So, I mean, we're gonna, you know, we gotta also stay composed. The team, at least, has to stay composed throughout this entire stretch because it's not going to be easy. But I'll be on tomorrow, so we'll see what happens, and we'll recap it from there.
All right, catch you tomorrow night, man. Peace. All right, who's Mark? It's on you, brother.
Oh, yo, Sam, yo, I want to say, yo, thank you for the opening night. You know, I thank everybody for the love and everything. It's overwhelming. I was a little bit shy. It might not seem so, but I'm a little bit shy because I'm not used to that type of attention that I got opening night. But, you know, we're going to take the L tomorrow because of Kyrie, and that's about it. That's the L. I just didn't want to go in. I just didn't want to go in till Monday 1-2. Now we got to win 3 games straight to stay over 500.
That's exactly how I feel. I wanted to. We win 2 games. Okay, we lose to the Celtics with 2-1.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, maybe we can pull. Who knows? Let's see what happens tomorrow. But
I just hope we be competent on defense. tomorrow. You know, show a little, tug. But this game drained me tonight. Y'all don't understand how much this hurt. Y'all don't understand, man. Especially when you're watching it up close.
I can imagine.
And the game should have been had because we did play good defense because we turned them over 22 times, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still tripping over that. And in the fact that we only had 3 turnovers. 3 turnovers. We took care of the ball at least, but we lost that game. But man, shout out to the chat. I'll see y'all tomorrow after the loss. I'm going to come in calm. I'm not going to be yelling tomorrow because I just know that game we're going to take an L.
All right. I'll catch you tomorrow, man. Catch us the pregame,
all right,
7 o'clock. Pregame, 7 o'clock.
All right, yo.
All right. Oh, wait a minute. One second, though. What happened to the, what wasn't Mark supposed to have his channel up today? Yeah. Hey, Mark. Hey, Mark.
Yo,
when the show goes off, I want you and the entertainer to just jump back into the MBK if you can. All right.
All right. Yeah, I'll be here.
All right. Peace.
Game winner.
And that is classic. Who's Mark right there?
Well, I love talking to him because the whole time he's talking to you, he's trying to have a chat with you. He's watching the whatever game's on. I don't even know what game's on because he just has basketball on 24/7 in his house.
Yeah,
he's like the ultimate basketball fan. I love Who's Mark.
Yeah, man. So, man, entertainer.
I just wanted to stop in, and I just wanted to say thank you for setting that up. I love meeting you. You're even better in person than you are on camera. You're a genuine guy, and everybody in the chat. Isaiah was great. Who's Mark was great. Viv was great. Real Shark, Real Shark fan, everybody who I met there was just great, wonderful people, and I really enjoyed myself, and I had a great time. And the Knicks played probably the best game they've played in years. They put up 126 points. They haven't done that since like 2016.
Right.
That we picked the right game to go to.
Yeah, man, and I just hope we can do it again. I hope we can do it again MLK Day. We got to get these tickets sold, though, man.
You'll get them sold. I'm not worried about that. You'll get them sold.
If we can't do it MLK Day, then we'll move them on to another day, I guess. But I definitely want to do it again. So we can. It was just fun. It was a great atmosphere, a great group of people, a great group of Knicks fans, and we want to continue to do this, and hopefully we can. We do it at the Garden, then we can maybe move to Philly. Boston,
the one thing I gotta say is you got to hold Isaiah back from the food line because as soon as he got in there, all the chicken was gone. It was like gone. I didn't get a piece of chicken. He's like,
and then he came on the stream with a plate full of chicken.
But no, all kidding aside, it was really a great night. I really had a good time meeting everybody that everybody who talks to me in the chat, and and you and everybody. It was great. It was a great night.
Yeah, it was great. And you can go on my website. There's pictures on my website, and there'll be more pictures on the website. I asked people who took pictures to send them in to me, and there'll be
I was talking to you. I think a good idea for the obviously we got months to talk about it, but I thought a good idea for the MLK game would possibly be to maybe do something after the game because it's a day game. Maybe we could all meet and go out to a bar after, whatever. Just do a stream there for a couple hours. Just an idea, but I think people from the chat might enjoy that.
Yeah, that'd be great. So I'm just hoping we can get them sold.
Oh, we're gonna get them sold. I'm not worried about that.
Hoping we can get them sold. So that because right now they have 2 lounges available, right, and we're trying to get one of them before it's sold out. I mean, I know we would sell them, but can we get it before it's sold out?
Yeah, I'm gonna buy my tickets tomorrow. Actually, I'll buy them. I'm gonna buy 2. So you got 2 more sold.
Okay, so you guys hear that? Come check us out, man. Come get us. Come to MLK Days at Matinee. I know. There's going to be kids that have a day off of school. Bring your kids out. Enjoy it. Have a good time. It was a great atmosphere. Everyone had tons of fun. And I know you and your family will have tons of fun as well. There's a link in the chat. There's going to be a link in the description. So I hope to see you guys there. And entertainer, are you going to come back in with Who's Mark?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'll be in.
All right. Yeah, I just wanted to talk to you guys for 5 to 10 minutes. And that's
it. Definitely. I'll come back in.
All right.
Just text me when you want me to come in.
All right, cool. I think he just came back in, so I'm just gonna. I actually just mute you, and then I'm going to end this off. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure being with you. Everyone who was there with us on the NBK opening night kickoff, it was great. Go to my website, nothingbutnicks.com, and you can see pictures there. There's going to be more pictures, and I really, really hope that you guys can get to the next one, which is Martin Luther King Day. The link is in the chat. It'll be in the description as well. Before I get up out of here, I want to send a couple of shout outs. I want to shout out to Mr. GQ NYC. Thank you for the super chat. Said, what's up to the chat? Chester Nason said, brain and muscle memory frees you. Remember that. Brain and muscle memory frees you. I like that. That's exactly what we're talking about. Marty Nick says, wish I was Frank. I would run PNR all day. And then Marty again says, chat, who's better, Burke or D'Lo? And then he added, nah, mean son. And I'm sure you guys already had that conversation. But again, I am up out of here. I will see you guys tomorrow night, 7 p.m. for the pregame. I'm contemplating. I may come on halftime so we can, talk about the game during halftime, and then I'll be back on for the postgame. All right. So you guys enjoy your weekend. If I don't see you tomorrow night, which I believe I probably will see you guys tomorrow night, but if not, enjoy your weekend. And as much as I was mad about the Knicks tonight, I love them all in the same vein. Peace.